I'll be with you in a minute. Dun dun dun. All right. So you guys see that clip that I posted right before I came on the live air just now? I know, right? That's what I'm saying. Things, it is on. It is on. So for those of you who don't know, uh, Donald Trump just drone striked the Baghdad airport. Why is my volume on? For those of you who don't know, Donald Trump just drone striked the Baghdad airport, killing the second most powerful man in Iran, a general, I don't know his name exactly, according to Iraqi state television. Now, I don't have any personal confirmation of that, but here we are. Uh, I mean, it's so weird, right? Because it's not like the Democrats are speaking out against, against what Donald Trump is doing in Iraq. It's disgusting. I mean, I'm sure I haven't heard anything from Bernie Sanders. I was expecting to see him somewhere today, but I didn't see him anywhere. Um, it seems to me that what's happening is what I see happening is the impeachment thing just got turned up a notch because a bunch of papers were just released, a bunch of documents, a bunch of FBI interviews were just released. So Trump needs to kind of wag the dog, right, and say, "Oh no, look over here," like all presidents do, by killing people, by all U.S. presidents do. So that's where we're at right now, and this is I don't want to over blow what's going on, right? I don't. I mean, you guys can see what for yourself. I will cover it in immense the way that I do. You know how I do. Hello, caller. That's the second time that guy hung up. I'm pretty sure. I think. Anyways, that's the second caller that hung up. For whatever reason. I think it's the same caller, honestly. But here's where we're at. Donald Trump just drone striked the second most powerful person in Iran, according to Baghdad television. This is the same guy. We'll try one more time. Hello, caller. Hello?
Fucking losing and all you're doing is sniping.
The what now?
Appearing offline does not fucking stop. So stop giving fucking advice you know nothing about.
Okay. What was that now?
Appearing offline does not fucking stop.
Are you able to actually speak into the fucking telephone like a human being, or are you just gonna play games?
Come on, fuck you, lion.
Put your mouth up to the microphone so we can all hear you like a human being and say what it is you're going to say or piss off.
Dude, shut the fuck up, dude. You're a little kid.
Yeah, I'm a little kid. Yes, I'm a little kid with my big long gray beard. Oh, because that's the first thing that you notice about little kids, right? So I'm a little kid. Right. Anyways, as I was saying, that's the guy who hung up twice, and then he calls back, and obviously we were better off with him hanging up because it has nothing to add to the conversation. He can't even put his lips to the microphone. So, moving on, what we're saying is Donald Trump just drone striked Baghdad airport in the last hour, 2 hours, something like that, killing the second most powerful man in Iran, according to Iraqi state television. The Iranians have been invited into Iraq by the Iraqis, by the Iraqi government to help them with ISIS. The U.S. is now bombing people. The U.S. Donald Trump is really this is a major escalation. If the reporting is correct, I mean, to me, just the bombing of Baghdad airport seems like a pretty big deal. I mean, I thought that those people were like, now they're not at war anymore, and they're, people are able to actually go to the airport and fly out. And Donald Trump just drone strike Baghdad airport. Okay, like people going on vacation and stuff are flying in and out of Baghdad airport now, right? It's not just a war zone anymore. Right? Isn't that what the truth is?
Who wants this call?
Hello, caller.
Michael Knight, how are you this evening, buddy?
Dwayne, it is so good to hear from you. Happy New Year.
Hey, same to you, bud. Same to you. So, why would you believe any news anywhere about what's going on over there anyways, man?
Well, because it's the only eyes that we have, basically, that's over there right now. I mean, all I have is the reporting from the people that say they have reporting on this. And I take it all with a grain of salt, of course. I mean, you have to.
Of course. And, okay, because if you want to say that, this guy was a terrorist. I was on...
the Iranian general was a terrorist, is that right?
Yeah, of course he was. He was making deals with Hezbollah and everything like that. So, and it has something to do with, these protests at the embassy, and they were spray painting the guy's name on the embassy walls. So that's the reporting I've seen, correct? So...
yeah, go ahead.
Now, of course, I've been watching, Fox News, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you're getting it from CNN. I don't know, but, it's just absolutely crazy, but I don't think America has to lose any troops. They got F-16s, right? F-35s.
I don't know. I don't know what they're flying right now, but they have the mightiest military in the world, if that's what you're trying to say.
Well, of course, and they don't have to put a single boot on the ground. They could just blow everyone up from the sky.
It doesn't work that way, Dwayne. I mean, it's never worked that way. They say that that's what they're going to do, and then that's not what happens. It never works that way, Dwayne. I mean, that's what was going to happen in Afghanistan, and they did anything but that. That's what was going to. And 20 years later, they did anything but that. Iraq, the same deal. I mean, Vietnam, the same thing. How many fucking people died in Vietnam? And all these are based on lies. I mean, and I'm sure that there's people at the Baghdad airport that are now using the Baghdad airport to fly to families to go on vacations and stuff, Dwayne. And Donald Trump is drone striking this airport.
He killed a terrorist. Somebody sending weapons to Hezbollah and Hamas. There's a whole bunch of people. I was watching a stream just like an hour ago. A whole bunch of people from Yemen are so happy that they're like, thank you, Trump, for saving the Middle East. So no matter what, there's two sides, right? like there's people dying in the Middle East because of this guy. There's people dying in the Middle East because of Israel. So there's people dying in the Middle East from both sides.
There's people dying.
There's no love for this
everywhere
guy
all the time. There's people dying, okay?
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of violence in the world. I just don't want my taxpayers, my tax dollars to be paying for it. I don't want it to be done in my name. I don't want it to be done in the name of America. I'm tired of it, Dwayne. I'm tired of America being synonymous with murder. Okay, and I don't care if this guy was a murderer. You say you're a Christian. You know that murder doesn't make murder okay, right?
It depends. It depends. No, you're not supposed to be a murderer.
Yeah.
Okay, because you hate somebody in your heart, you're guilty of murder. So just even hate is equivalent to murder if you want to go that deep, right?
Well, I don't know that that's true, but yeah, I hate war profiteers. I get it. I'd like to see them dead.
Yeah, I got no issue with that. But look, there's been war since Cain killed Abel. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's been war. Humans love it for some reason. I don't care.
Because the rich people make money off of it, Dwayne. That's why humans love it. Because rich people make money off of it. That's got to be the reason.
Yeah, well, I'm not a rich person making money off it.
I know. I'm not accusing you of that, Dwayne. I'm not. I'm not accusing you of anything like that.
There's just, it's just always been that way. There's always been war. There's always two sides. Kuwait was drilling under Iraqi soil, stealing oil from Iraq, all that stuff. So it always happens, man. I don't love war. I don't think we need to do any of this stuff, man. But you know what? I'm not a rich oil man running the world. There's nothing I can do about it. I vote third party all the time. When I vote.
Dwayne, I know, man. You don't gotta explain it to me. I'm just saying, that this isn't being done in your name, Dwayne. You're not.
It's not.
It's being done in my name with my country's tax dollars. That could be going to help, the weakest amongst us. It could be going to make good things happen, but instead, it's creating murder, and I've had enough of that. Okay, yeah. and I would think I would think that most people, I'm sure that the vast majority of people feel the same way, especially Americans. I know that it looks like we love war. We can't get enough violence. We can't play a fucking football game without the F-16s or F-35s or whatever the fuck they are flying over the football game to remind everybody that we're a warrior fucking nation. I'm tired of it, Dwayne. I don't want war. I don't have the slightest respect for war. It makes me want to puke my guts up every fucking second of every day. And I don't mean to take it out of you.
That makes sense, man. No, it totally makes sense. There's nothing we can do about it. There really isn't. We're enslaved to central banks, and they just print the money and give it to these people anyways.
They do. You're right. And why? Because there's this big money to be made in it for the rich people. Again, and that's the part that really bothers me, Dwayne. Because if there was actually a reason for these wars, then I could maybe actually get behind them. But there isn't. Except for to make filthy rich pieces of shit even more fucking rich. And I don't think that's a good enough reason to fucking soil the good name of America.
I agree, man. I agree. I totally agree with you.
So, and I don't mean to. I'm not trying to come across so cross at you, Dwayne. You know that. I just, this is the stuff that really pisses me off, man. This endless war. It's never going to stop unless we all just say enough. People have to get like me, Dwayne. You can't look at it and go, oh, this is how it's always been. This is how it's always going to be. Yeah, if with that attitude, for sure. Okay?
You know what really has the only way we're going to get change is when the U.S. dollar collapses. That's it, man. And fucking people are too stupid to realize that. Most people don't even know who creates money, how it's created, Okay, they just go out and spend their money. They borrow money. The banks then create 10 times more. So I shouldn't even say money. It's a stupid thing to say. Money is silver. They create currency. And then, like the whole fractional reserve banking system, once that collapses, then we're set. Then we can start anew because the U.S. dollar shouldn't be anymore, man. It shouldn't be. We have to get rid of that. If we're not going to get rid of the U.S. dollar, we're all just fucking slaves anyway. Period. Doesn't matter what country you're in. The U.S. dollar is the world reserve currency until that collapses. And probably 90% of the people in your chat would be dead within a week. They'd be eating each other. Wolko wouldn't. He's smart, okay? So Wolko would live. But most of them would just be dead, begging in the street. And unless you have the right mentality for that, for a collapse, you're doomed, man. And then maybe we can start a real civilization afterwards. But look, that happens, there's going to be people eating each other within a week. Like, this is crazy shit. So forget no fucking war with Iran or anything like that. The U.S. dollar, the only way to change society is to collapse that fucking thing, man. Seriously. Collapse the U.S. dollar, ditch the Federal Reserve, out with the Bank of England, the Bank of Canada, and all these fucking central banks, then we're fine. And that's why they killed Gaddafi. That's why they destroyed Libya. That's probably what they're going to do with Iran. Is Iran run by the Rothschilds yet? Probably not.
But they need it. They need it to be.
What's that?
But they need it to be, is what you're saying. They need Iran to be run by the Rothschilds.
Gaddafi.
Yeah.
Gaddafi Libya was the richest country in Africa before that happened.
Yeah.
Under Obama, before Obama did that. Oh, who was it? The guy used to be on Alex Jones all the time. He was talking about how they were going to take down certain countries that weren't Rothschild central banks, right?
Right.
Well,
yeah.
That's true, right?
You talking about Wes Clark or something?
I forget who exactly it was.
The general?
The guy knew what he was talking about because they've done it I forget who it was. But, like, they've taken out all these countries that haven't bowed to the central banks.
Yeah.
That's the key, man. Look, it's all about the power. And it's not even money, it's currency. People are killing each other for currency, not even money. Because how many people in your chat room have a fucking silver dime? All right?
I do.
If you don't have a silver dime, Men in Black,
I have a silver dime.
Shut your fucking mouth. Because seriously,
you sent me one.
Darn right I did, buddy. Because that means more than a $20 or $30 gift. That silver I sent you meant more than that because someday, man, you're going to need it. When oh man, if you go back through think about it. Jesus was sold out by his best friend for 30 pieces of silver. I wouldn't sell you out, Mike, for 30 ounces of silver. So think about how much that was really worth back then.
Right.
To sell out your best friend for 30 pieces. I bet the Wolko's got a hell of a lot more than 30 pieces. The smartest guy in there. Same with that Iowa Blackbird. I bet you he's got some.
He seems like a pretty smart guy, huh?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, do you have any New Year's resolution, Dwayne?
Just to be a better daddy.
Well, that's a great resolution. I wish you all the best in that, for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. And just to work harder.
Well, sounds like you work pretty hard already, man.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like, I'm asleep by 8:30 every night now. It's crazy.
Well, that sounds cozy. Sounds comfy.
It is when you got a nice little warm wife next to you, man. Oh, it's great. Oh, what a life.
Lucky.
I can't complain, man. I can't complain. And watching all this bombing shit, like seriously, it's like watching a video game or something. I get to sit here and watch war, man. It all started with that Wolf Blitzer, back during the first Iraq War.
Yeah.
Even Desert Storm, man.
Yeah.
Back in what? I even forget when that was. It was the early 90s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
90.
I can sit at home and Wolf Blitzer's been around forever, man. That guy's wicked as fuck. He loves war, man.
Yeah, he loves war.
He loves war. I
think all the news people love war pretty much. All the mainstream media, because it makes them more famous. The more war there is, the more people have to tune in so they know what's happening. So they love war because then people have to tune in.
And Wolf Blitzer, he gets a hard on for the stuff.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think he does, man. Like he's been Mr. He was Mr. Desert Storm. He was Mr. Baby and Incubators and all that stuff, right?
Yep.
He was all for that. I can't really watch CNN, and I just kind of got fed up with watching Fox tonight.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh shit, it's 10 o'clock, man. I'm not going to watch fucking Laura Ingraham. Forget it. I'm going to call Mike's show.
Right on. What fed you up about Fox?
No, it's just.
You can only take so much, huh?
What I just called in and said, the guy's a terrorist, fucking giving weapons to Hezbollah and Hamas. And then someone in your comment section, they're freedom fighters. I don't know.
Look, I posted a clip like 3 days ago that said that the people that Trump just drone striked, it was a Tucker clip, the people that Trump just drone striked were killing ISIS and protecting Christians. Okay, that's the exact title of what I just posted. So, that's who Trump is killing. You can say, oh, they're Iranians. Well, the Iranians don't like ISIS. Okay, the Iranians. That's the reason that the Iranians are in Iraq, so that the Iranians they were invited there by the Iraqis to help them fight ISIS, because the Americans suck at that.
Well,
so we're clear, Dwayne.
I was watching the Hannity, right?
Yeah.
He's not on. I forget who's sitting in for him. I think it's that Chaffetz guy or whatever. But I saw a clip of what Tucker said tonight, and Tucker's not cool with this shit, which is all right.
Oh, I didn't see Tucker talking about the bombing, but I saw him talking about something else. I had a clip of his, but it was too long.
It was on Fox's main channel. It's only like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
But he's not for this.
Yeah.
And which is pretty good. I'm not really for it anyway. But look, man, I can't change the world. The central bank ain't going to collapse because I say please collapse.
No, you can't change the world. We have to change the world together, Dwayne. That's the way it has to be. We have to work together to change the world.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I really don't think that. Actually, I think the people that are on this channel are some pretty smart people. Yeah, there's some people that piss me off too, but there's actually some pretty smart people in this.
Smart people. I'll tell you something, Dwayne. Smart people will have a tendency to piss you off, because that's what smart people do. They're too damn smart for their own good.
That Iowa Blackbird's tough, man. Like smart guy, smart cookie there,
Yeah.
And sometimes the shit he says is, what are you thinking, man? But hey, I know the way the world works. It works for me in this home the way I do it,
Yeah, that's awesome. That's fantastic.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm totally for taking down the central banks. Hey, if anyone believes in that with me, let's do it.
Look, Dwayne, look, this is the plan moving forward for the peaceful revolution. First, we eliminate political parties. Then we have a chance at taking down whatever it is we want to take down, whether it be the military-industrial complex or anything else, including the central banks. But first, we have to get rid of the parties, because otherwise they will do everything in their power to stand in our way of making happen the things that the people actually want and need to be making happen in order for us to take the world back, because they don't want us to take it back, and the last thing they're going to do is help us make it happen.
Mike, I don't even have a bank account. I haven't had a bank account since 2009, man. All right? People, stop borrowing fucking money for a car. If you can't afford it, don't buy it.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
Every dollar you save, put it into gold and silver. And you know what? At least then you're doing your part. But if anyone in this chat has a fucking car loan, fuck you. You're ruining the country. Just as much as drilling for oil. Okay? You're ruining the country. You're giving these freaks the right to print money and give it to I don't know, pick your poison, Merck Pharmaceuticals or GlaxoSmithKline or, Halliburton.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I said it, Halliburton. Stop borrowing fucking money from banks, people. Anyway.
Yes. Anyway.
Cheers, Mike. Cheers, Mike. I just had to say that.
Yeah, no, it's so good to hear from you, Dwayne.
That's seriously the problem, man. That's seriously the problem.
Right.
Stop borrowing fucking money from banks. Don't trust those people. All right? You all claim to hate. Never mind, I'm not even going to use that word. Y'all say those are those kind of people. Stop borrowing money from them then.
Look, I don't borrow money. I don't do anything on credit. I'm not that kind of person. Because I don't want to overextend myself. I'm just not in a position where I would be able to do that, and it being a good plan. And I don't think it's a good plan even if you are able to do that. So, whatever, you do but people do what they got to do, and I'm not here to judge. So, and you know that I'm not here judging people. I'm just here. I want a peaceful revolution. I'm going to continue to push for that. That's what this whole show is going to become about in 2020.
It's so simple to move out of the city, find a plot of land. You can grow your own food, and grow enough food to last you a whole year. I got to get better at that, all right? I'm only growing enough food to last a couple of months. I got to be able to be self-sufficient for a year. These are the goals I have for myself, man. And put all my savings into something that will not depreciate in value, okay? I don't waste money on stupid shit. I don't borrow money from anybody unless it's like a friend, like, give me $20 for gas or something. That's when I borrow money. But,
yeah.
Stop being a pawn to the dollar. The dollar is what's screwing this all up. Seriously. How much money's been spent on Iraq? $1 trillion?
Yeah, a lot of money, man. My guess would be upwards of $5 trillion.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it just fucking was created on a computer, man.
Yeah.
It was created on a computer.
Yeah, no.
What has more intrinsic value? $1 worth of nickels or a dollar bill?
Probably $1 worth of nickels would be my guess.
Of course, because there's actually some metal there.
Yeah.
Now, so like, it's just crazy shit. I used to love this stuff. 2008, my wife and I, we were jumping up and down watching the crash happen, man.
Yeah, well.
There were so many people, and like, seriously, you buy gold and silver, all these former public sector union people who are on pensions right now, their pensions are going to go to us, to me. And I can't wait till that day happens.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait. I look forward to your silver being worth lots of money, Dwayne, but I don't want to see people hurt. So don't look forward to that. I don't look forward to that.
They're public sector workers, man. Like, seriously.
Yeah,
Like real unions. Public sector, unions were created to help the people who are abused by their employers. Like real people who sweat. Like steel workers and auto workers. Teachers don't sweat, man. They get 3 months off a year anyway, and they make twice as much.
I think teachers have to deal with some shit, dude. That unless you've been a teacher, you don't really get it all.
Someone has to deal with all the children who've been injured by the vaccines. Go to a public school, there's kids walking into walls. It's terrible. That's when we realized, my wife and I, let's take these kids out of the public school. Forget it. Like, all the kids are vaccine damaged, and then they say you must have your vaccine and all. Screw you, man. Like, my wife and I are smarter than your fucking degree anyway. Like, a degree in what? A degree in environmental biology was a piece of cake, in my opinion. For me, absolutely. And then they taught me all horse shit. Even in their own books, it says carbon dioxide isn't a greenhouse gas. Unbelievable, man. Hey, Mike, it was great talking to you, and, I got to crash. I was kind of wired tonight, and
It's really good to hear from you, Dwayne. I'm glad things are going well where you are.
Hey, it is, and I'm really glad to see you, and keep doing what you're doing, man. And I'll be sending you pizza money pretty soon, man.
Well, that's super appreciated, Dwayne. Anything?
Yeah, for sure. Hey, peace, love, and happiness, buddy. You have a great evening.
All right, it's good to hear from you. Tell Jane I said hi.
I will. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so that's our buddy Dwayne from the Great White North. And it's always nice to hear from Dwayne. We haven't heard from Dwayne for about a week, so that was good to hear from Dwayne, or even more. I think it might have been even more with Christmas and everything. Anyways, as I was saying, so for those of you who don't know, I have a clip here that shows, that talks about, right before we came on the air, Donald Trump drone strike the Baghdad airport, killing the second most powerful man in Iran, some general that I'm not really familiar with, but I don't know Iran all that well. So I have a clip. If you guys want to hear the clip, we'll play the clip now. Hold on one sec. Here we go.
Hello, we start with breaking news from Iraq. An airstrike at Baghdad airport has reportedly hit high-profile targets linked to Iran. Iraqi state TV says one of those killed was the powerful Iranian military commander Qasem Soleimani. So far, there's been no official comment from Iran. Iraqi police said a total of 8 people had been killed in an attack, which came hours after the US Defense Secretary Mark Esper said Washington might have to carry out preemptive action to protect American lives in the Middle East. This is obviously all yet to be confirmed, and it's breaking news, but this would obviously be a huge escalation in tensions between the US and Iran if it is confirmed to be targeted strikes by the US. So just a reminder that reportedly Qasem Soleimani has been killed in strikes against Iran in Iraq, and we'll obviously bring you more information on that. It's supposedly US bombing at Baghdad International Airport. More to come on that through the rest of the program.
Okay, so to me, this is a big deal. I hope it's not a big deal. I hope it just kind of goes by and we forget about it. But this seems like a big deal. Like I said, number one, bombing the a drone strike and the Baghdad airport. I'm sure that there are people, civilians, that are going on vacation, leaving from the Baghdad airport. So that seems like a horrific, nightmarish kind of thing to have happen. And then this attack. This is. The clip that I posted earlier on this YouTube page was from MSNBC, and they called it an assassination of this general, the Iranian general, multiple times. Trump assassination of this Iranian general. So that's a pretty big deal, because assassination, that word's not really thrown around a whole lot, and never used lightly. In the mainstream media. We got a call from Anonymous. Ooh, I wonder what Anonymous has to say. Hello, caller.
Isn't the explanation that you haven't taken off your shirt yet? I want to see those too.
And I believe this is Steve McClanahan. Hello, caller.
Michael, this is Steve McClanahan.
Steve, how are you?
I am not well, Michael.
Where are you? I know. We all know that, Steve.
Michael, is this some kind of a joke? We arrived earlier in the day today.
Where did you arrive at?
In Iraq.
Iraq.
We're trying to pronounce it properly. Okay.
You're gonna want to do that, or you're gonna lose your head over there.
I'm telling you, Michael. I had a hell of a day. So I get off the airport today. To my amazement, actually after firing the entire staff, Michael.
What airport is that?
I had to fire everybody. Huh?
What airport?
It's the same. Well, currently it's on fire, Michael.
Oh, okay.
It's on the world news, okay? So I get here, and to my amazement, there is a camel out front with a man with a sign that says, Mox News, Steve McClanahan. So,
I hope you got video
I was riding my camel away.
I hope you got video of
All
that.
All of a sudden, the airport just explodes. The camel took shrapnel for me. He was my friend. The camel saved my life. I'm covered in camel, Iraqian camel blood. It's running all over my entire face. My ass crack, it's in my mouth. Michael, it's been a horrendous day. Nobody even understands. We're reporting live, Mox News Radio, live from Iraq. We're down here on the battlefield. I spent 3 hours in a camel carcass trying to survive, Michael. Michael.
Yes.
I'm scared. I don't know how I'm going to get back. You got to get me out of here, Michael. Tell my family that I love them. We're going to try to make it out of here. Michael, if you could, try to reach out to Super Bullshit Tron. Super Bullshit Tron. He's the superhero. He's tired of all this bullshit. Tell him I need him. Tell him that we need him, that the world needs him. We're tired of all this bullshit. Michael, can you reach out to Super Bullshit Tron for me tonight, please?
We'll do our best, Steve.
Thank you, Michael. I will try to keep you posted with the most recent breaking reports, but Michael, I am still here with my friend, the camel. He was good to me. He was a good camel.
Go get a shower,
He's
Steve.
Well, Michael, I cannot find a fucking restroom. It's the same problem here in Iraq as we do in America. Okay? Restrooms are just fucking scarce, Michael. And I'm telling you, we're dedicated, and we're doing it. And we're doing it live, Michael. Mox News Radio. Michael, I have to go.
Okay,
back
Steve,
to you.
You stay safe. Okay, and that's Steve McClanahan calling us from, I guess, outside the Baghdad airport. There was just drone striked, and he lost his friend, the camel. And we have another caller.
This call.
Hello, caller.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Okay.
Okay, what's your name?
My name is Jackson.
Hey, Jackson. Where are you calling from?
Chicago.
Chicago. You guys legalized weed yesterday.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Congratulations on your new freedom.
Oh. So I just want to ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
Do you like Donald Trump?
No, I do not like Donald Trump. I do not like Donald Trump one little tiny bit.
Okay. Well, do you believe in we should have gun rights for American citizens?
I do believe that. I believe that the Second Amendment is the only reason that we have any other rights in this country to now. I do believe we should have the right to own guns.
But don't you think guns can do bad and good?
I believe that guns can do bad and good. It's unfortunate that there's so much bad done by guns, but I do believe that in a land where bad is done with guns, you probably need guns in order to like balance it out.
Well, I want to tell you on BWG Radio. This is my radio station, so say hi.
Hello, hello.
Say hello to all the fans. We're doing a live stream, calling into the YouTube channel, so you can say hi. We can shout you out, do whatever you want to do.
Okay, well, this is Mox News, and we do a live call-in show, Mox News on YouTube. We do a live call-in show every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific, and we love to have you all join us anytime.
Okay. Well, I have one more question for you.
Okay.
Do you think Donald Trump represents a good conservative? Because are you a Democrat or a Republican?
No, I am not.
Are you independent?
No, on this show, we are calling for a peaceful revolution to do away with all political parties in the United States.
Okay, sir. I really don't agree with that at all. We need parties.
Why?
Because,
Why?
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you why.
Okay.
Because if we don't have parties, not every group is not going to agree. So here's the thing: if we have a Democrat, a Republican side, if we both have different ideas, different parties, and different kinds of power, we can come together with that power from the Democrat and the Republican side, and we can actually do something in this country. Did you know America is the only country to ever have this amount of poverty and not a lot of jobs and all this stuff? Hey, can you believe that? That's just America that we live in.
And that was what was brought to you by the Republican and the Democratic parties. Hand in hand, working together to bring us right now to this moment in history. Happily.
So you're not a part of a party.
The party system is the problem. The party system is why we have endless war. The party system is why we have no new infrastructure. The party system is why it is impossible to speak out against Israel.
Do you like Israel?
I do not care for the government of Israel killing little children on a daily basis. No, I do not.
Do you like Muslims?
I don't like religion. I don't care what your religion is. If you're Jewish, if you're Muslim, if you're Christian, it's all the fucking same stupidity to me.
So you're like somebody that's a non-believer in anything. Yeah, I'm just trying to get that clear.
I believe in freedom. I believe in your freedom. I believe in my freedom. I believe there's a perfection to freedom. I believe that God wants you to be as free as you possibly can, and that is why God gave you the right as the top of the food chain on this planet to be as free as you choose to be.
So you believe in God, huh?
People in general want to believe that there's something more than just this. And I like the idea of God. I don't know that I necessarily believe in God, but I do give thanks on a regular basis.
So you're kind of like an anti-believer. And I know you say you believe in freedom and stuff like that, but into like policies and religion and parties, you are a non-believer in everything.
These are the things that separate us. See, if we were to get rid of all political parties, then on election day, it would be Americans voting for Americans instead of idiot Democrats and fucking Republicans voting for fucking Republicans and idiot Democrats. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Well,
wouldn't that be so much more patriotic? Don't you think so many more people would want to participate knowing that it's Americans voting for Americans on election day?
Well, I have two questions to answer your question. First of all, you cannot tell an American what they can do with their rights as American citizens. Second of all, I believe that we should have two different parties, because not every party is going to agree on the same policies as another party. So why would it make any sense to come together, have arguments, have back forth, and then not come to a solution?
Because there's always going to be people who have different opinions. So then instead of it just being this opinion and this opinion, then we could have all these Americans saying what their opinion is, coming together for the best, with the best opinion. Okay? The reason that we have endless war is because we have the two-party system. Okay? Instead of Americans saying, why are we having this fucking endless war? You know, we have fucking Democrats who get all this money from the military-industrial complex, and fucking Republicans. What? What?
Listen here, Jesus. Listen here, Jesus. Because I'm just gonna call you that. Because
it's not an insult, you know.
That was something that Trump made up to spear steer the Democratic Party against Nancy Pelosi, the House Democrat and Speaker of the House. That's what he did. He is a racist, a bigot, a fatty, whatever you want to call him.
I hate Donald Trump. He's a piece of shit as an example for a human being, and nothing that we should hold up to any kind of other human beings as an example, meaning children saying, you could be president one day. Well, yeah, I guess you got to bang a few porn stars first while your wife's pregnant and giving birth to your fucking child, you know. Donald Trump is a fucking scumbag from hell, born with a fucking gold spoon in his mouth, fucking ruined everything he's ever touched. Okay? He's a piece of garbage.
Actually, everything he touched turned into gold, but, you know.
What are you talking about? He fucking bankrupt a fucking casino. What planet do you live on that somebody who's able to steal money from people goes bankrupt?
Wait, no, he actually went bankrupt 4 times. I don't like Trump either. I like Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden. Okay?
Yeah, well, see, this is the problem with the two-party system. The problem is all you have is those people to choose. You either get the fucking Republicans or you get these other douchebags. And you like the other douchebags better. And you know damn well that they're fucking douchebags. Barack Obama was a piece of shit, just like George Bush was a piece of shit, and now Donald Trump is a piece of shit, although Donald Trump has been a piece of shit his whole fucking life.
Let me ask you something. Now I'm going to bring a race in there. I'm trying to even bring a race.
What?
Let's bring up Barack Obama. Let's bring up Barack Obama. Okay, you know Barack Obama, right?
Uh-huh.
What did you like that? Like,
Because I just said Barack Obama 1 second ago, and then you asked me if I know Barack Obama.
Yeah. So, how many presidents have there been?
Let's see, 47, 46? 46, is that right? 45, right? 45.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been up there. But how many of those presidents have been women? Black people, colored people, Mexican people, Asian people, Hispanic people. How many of those has this been straight white men? Straight white men. Not that
Listen,
somebody else.
I would
somebody a woman.
I would like to have a female president more than any other woman you know. Okay? And you don't have to believe that, but it's true. And I can tell you why. I can tell you why. Because I think that a female president would think twice before she bombed someone, knowing that other people's little children might die. Or before she sent other people's children into war, she might actually think about what it would be like if she had to do that with her children. As opposed to a fucking dude who's got to prove how fucking manly he is. Although with Hillary Clinton, she would have had to prove how manly she was immediately too. And we probably would be at war with Iran already if it was her now.
What?
What?
I mean, well... Well, sir, while you're talking about how we should come together, I'm not even trying to put you on blast, but 3 times in your comment section, you asked people to donate to your PayPal, to your GoFundMe.
Is there something wrong with that?
So there's nothing wrong with that. You're talking about how these American troops and these American people have to go kill children. Maybe if people weren't taking money from the government like you are right now.
I'm not taking money from the government. I don't take any money from the government.
People are giving you money, and that money is going to be taxed by what? By what? The government.
What are you talking about?
The money is going to be taxed. Once you receive the money from your GoFundMe, your PayPal, you also got your Patreon, all of these revenues of money, you are really provide a scam for you to collect money from other people that are trying to, I know they're trying to support you, particularly you're ripping off people, asking, begging them for money.
I'm not really. I provide a service. Okay, I have published over 70,000 videos on YouTube. Okay, videos that are actually worthy of people's time. And that's the only reason that I'm still here after 17 years is because people recognize that and donate to this page. So whoever you are, that's who I am, so you know.
Well, you're kind of just ripping. Never mind. Let's get from that point, because I can really see that you're kind of ripping off your subscribers of begging for money.
Did you hear me beg anyone for money? When did I beg someone for money?
Simply, the definition of begging is asking people over and over, and I bet you did on your other live streams, beg people for money.
I told you,
and money.
I provide a service. Okay, what I say to people is, if you would like to see this service continue, please give something back. Okay, I've published over 70,000 videos on YouTube for more than 800 million views. Again, who are you?
Who am I? I know who I am.
How many millions of views do you have?
Hey, I don't need views, but you know what I do have? You know, I have something that you can never get, and that is the seat in the White House. I'm the son. That's not the son of the uncle of the used to be president of the United States, Barack Obama. So I have something that you will never have, and that is royalty, presidency, something that you will never have because you're begging people. So if you make a video on YouTube, you think people should give you money just to make another video, even though you make 70,000 videos?
I think that if people appreciate the service that I provide and they understand.
You're saying a service. It's not a service. All you're doing is making YouTube videos. You're saying a service. It's a service.
Look, because you're new doesn't mean that you can just sit here and act like you know what's going on, because you don't. Clearly.
You're just mad because I'm telling the truth. You are begging your YouTuber fans for money and you're scamming them out of money.
That's right. She nailed it, you guys. I'm begging you. All I've done here for the last, 90 minutes? How long have we been on here? 53 minutes. I've done nothing but beg you. And by the way, I've been quite courteous to you. I've done nothing but beg you on my show while you're being a douche. I've done nothing but beg you for money.
I'm not being a douche. I'm pointing out facts.
No, you're not. You're being a douche. You came to my show to specifically be a douche, apparently.
No, I didn't come to your show.
Yes, you came to my show and then decided to call my show and then decided consciously you chose to be a douchebag to me. That's what you're doing.
You're just like a white liberal. You sound just like a white...
Yes, I'm an aging hippie liberal douchebag. Get it right.
No, you're probably like a conservative.
See, you're the one who can't be consistent. I've been doing this again for 17 years. The people know who I am. So you can come out here and you can act like a little child who wants to whine, is jealous. Why are you so jealous? Don't be so jealous all the time.
Why are you ripping off Fox News? On your corner is Fox News. It's supposed to be Fox News.
Oh yeah, that's totally ripping off Fox News. Yeah, just because you're not smart enough to come up with something like as brilliant as Mox News, don't put it down. Do you have like this horrible inferiority complex where you have to continuously put down people and assure yourself that you're better than that person and better than this person? Is that, really and truly, what is it that you've ever accomplished in your entire life? Just give me anything.
You know what I accomplished in my life? Becoming a millionaire.
Oh, wow.
People work for me.
Wow, that's impressive.
Giving people jobs. Have you gave people jobs? No, you're asking people, begging people for money. You know what I have done with my life? I have done so much in my life that you can.
You have done so much in your life that you have nothing better to do than call and argue with me, who's a nobody douchebag, who just does
Shut up.
nobody, and you got nothing, and you have all this money to go and spend, and all these great friends to hang out with, and you got nothing better to do than call me. That's who you are. Okay, I know who I am. I stated who I am. Everybody here actually knows who I am, except for apparently you. And you don't seem to know yourself either. So good luck with that.
How long have you been on YouTube?
Good luck. What's that?
How long have you been on YouTube?
17 years. Pay attention. We discussed this already.
And how many videos have you posted?
70,000. More than.
And you never had a strike or nothing like that.
A what now?
You never had a strike or nothing like that?
Yeah, of course I had. I've had multiple channels taken away.
Well, sir, I just don't understand why. Would you like if I would do that to somebody? You're talking about do you support war with Iran? You literally just named your title. Do you support war with Iran? Of course I do not support war with Iran. This is my country.
That's what your country is about to do, is go to war with Iran. And fucking Nancy Pelosi isn't about to fucking stop it. So you know.
Nancy Pelosi's the best. Do you live in America?
Yes, I live in Seattle.
So why are you talking down about your country?
I'm not talking about... Look, the government is a fucking over-intrusive police state. The founders gave us the ability to overthrow an over-intrusive police state government. It needs to go. It represents none of us.
No, I just want to tell you one thing. There was a guy just like you. His name was John Reynolds. And guess what? He was just like you, talking about the government.
There is no one just like me. He didn't look like me. He didn't sound like me. He didn't talk like me. You just want to post. You just need to attach labels to people.
You know what happened?
You just need to attach labels to people, which is something that we fight here. You go, oh, you're just like that person. That way I can fit you into this little fucking box where I put all the people that are just like that person in this little box, and then I can ignore you just like I do all the people that I put in that little box. Okay? I am me. We are here. You can have a conscious discussion with me, or you can be whatever this angry person. I don't understand why you're so angry. Oh, I have all this money and I get everything I want in the world, and I'm a king, I'm royalty, but you sound fucking like an angry little fucking douche.
Why are you being so mean to me?
Because you chose to be that way. You started this on a negative thing. You're like, oh, look at the way you do this. You're a piece of garbage. No, I do what I do. You do what you do. And that's cool. But that's not how you're acting, is it?
I was just trying to come to your channel and support your channel.
No, you weren't. You came here and started shit.
Listen. I asked the question. I said, why are you begging your friend? You could have easily.
Oh, please. Do you even know what fucking begging sounds like? Do you even know what begging sounds like? Begging sounds like fucking give me money right now, or I'm going to kill this fucking dog. Give me money, or I'm going to kill this motherfucking dog. Okay? That's what begging sounds like. It sounds like, oh, give me money, or this poor little baby's gonna starve. Oh, give me money because I have to have money for this and that to go to my mom's funeral. I don't do that shit. I provide a service that millions and millions of people access. Okay? So whatever your deal is, I don't know why you're so jealous or whatever your deal is, but I'm not begging. I'm asking you, would you like this service to continue? Okay?
Do you like black people?
Do I what?
Do you like black people?
I like people. Okay? I'm obviously a people person. Okay,
no, I don't. You kind of look like.
I don't know why you have to identify like that. It's like, do you like Muslims? Do you like this? Do you like that? What's the deal with your labels, man? Okay, just let the labels go. I like people. Do you like people?
I love everybody, but the problem is
you love everybody. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know why I love everybody? Because everybody is a person, one person. You are your one person. And you sitting up here talking about Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi are bad people and they did this and they did that. People make mistakes.
Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama are almost equally responsible for George W. Bush and Dick Cheney killing 1 million innocent people in Iraq.
Are you kidding me?
In Iraq, they killed 1 million innocent people, and Nancy Pelosi helped George W. Bush do that, and Barack Obama went right in behind fucking George W. Bush and continued the slaughter.
Hey, if you mess with our country, you think we're going to let it happen? You think we're just going to sit around? No, we're going to strike back and hard. I'm sorry what happened to those people, but hey, when you mess with America, you're going to get the rap.
Iraq didn't mess with America. Okay?
Yes, they did.
They did not. They didn't have anything to...
Yes, they did.
No, they did not. America made up lies and went into Iraq and murdered 1 million innocent people in your name with your millions of dollars tax money and with your great fucking superhero Barack Obama's approval.
Hey, this is America. You cannot decide. You one person. You are one person. You cannot decide how the government or how the president run this country. So please, I know you're arguing and you're trying to get a point out, but you one person is not going to change the world. Are you saying that they did this and they did that? You really think the government is going to take this serious?
One person can have a profound effect on another person. Two people of like minds can change the world. So it won't be me that changes the world. It will be us. And we're coming to change the world, whether you like it or not.
Go to government headquarters? You going to go to the Pentagon?
Nope. Fuck the Pentagon. We're going to take out the parties. We're going to take out the people who feed the Pentagon, the Democrats and the Republicans.
You know, I want to run for
in a peaceful revolution.
I want to be Speaker of the House one day. And
good luck with that.
For you to say this about what I want to do in my life and what I want to do is kind of rude. Because you're talking about my party, Democratic Party. I am a Democrat, but I'm an open-minded Democrat. I'm not like a leftist Democrat that is all about abortion.
You are an ill-informed person. You want to act as if Iraq deserves to be fucking bombed. Okay? Bombs kill little children and women.
They did something to us. They did something to us.
No, they didn't. And you need to fucking
I believe the government over you.
What?
I believe the government over you any time of the week.
Wow. Okay. Well, good luck with that.
The government has all the power. Well, I don't believe them. Because if we don't, then they're going to come after us.
That's why we have to take the government back.
We cannot take, with Donald Fatty Trump in presidency, we are not going to take the government back.
We need to take away, we need to banish political parties. If we say no more political parties, then the people can take control. This is the way to a peaceful revolution. This is the only way. I've been fighting this fight a long time. How old are you?
I'm old. How old are you?
I'm 57.
57, and I'm 35. So, listen here, son.
I'm sorry, but it's funny that you had to like needed like a couple minutes to decide how old you were. Okay, Barack Obama. If you're aware of these things, you would know that these people are horrible.
Shut up, please. Our founding fathers, George Washington, they built America and they wrote the letter in the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. Give me justice or give me death. What that means is this is America. You can have what party you like. This is your right as American citizens to be a part of a party. So when you try to say you're technically saying, shut up. I'm not done.
You don't even, the founding fathers warned against political parties. There were no political parties when the Constitution was written, and they warned against there ever being political parties. You're brand new today. Don't tell me that you're 35 years old.
Man, you're only 50 years old. Don't act like you're 70 years old. You know the fact. You're not that old, really.
I'm not acting like I'm 50 years old. I'm not acting like I'm 70 years old. I'm probably not acting like I'm 19, okay?
Do you want to live forever?
No, I don't.
What do you want to die of?
I don't want... Look, here's the deal. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, okay? And I don't want to.
Yeah, you might not make it to tomorrow.
And I don't want to. I don't want to know what's going to happen tomorrow. Okay? It wouldn't be any fun if you knew what was going to happen. It wouldn't be the slightest bit interesting. You would probably kill yourself if you knew what was going to happen tomorrow. Okay? I don't want to know. Okay? What I want to do is I want to stand up like a proud American and fight for freedom on a daily basis, as I have been now for 17 years here on the YouTube. And if you look at the chat, these people will tell you who I am. Okay?
Can you make me a moderator?
Do what now?
Can you make me a moderator?
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. You don't even believe in freedom or freedom of speech.
I believe in freedom of speech, freedom of press. I believe in it all.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. If you stick around, then we can talk about you being a moderator after I get to know you a little bit.
Okay, I'm Great One Kid in your comment section.
You're what?
Great One Kid. I'm not really a kid. That's my cousin's channel.
Okay. Well, I don't want your cousin being a moderator, so you're going to have to get your own channel.
I have my own channel. It's Great One Kid. But his videos are on the channel, but that's my channel.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I might call you back during the day because I need to finish this conversation. But you have a good life. Hopefully you make it to tomorrow and maybe you're wrong about the Democrats, but that's okay. You have a good night, son, and God bless you. Jesus Christ, I pray, amen. Amen.
Okay, well, thanks for calling. It's nice to hear from you. Oh, she hung up. Okay, in case you're listening now, thank you very much for calling. It was good to hear from you. Glad you enjoyed glad that you joined our show. Make you a moderator? She just got here. Make you a moderator. Come on. But I'm glad you joined us, right? So, and hopefully, there's Michael. Let's see if we can get Michael. Hey, Michael, you still there?
Make you a moderator. Come on.
Michelle.
What now?
Michelle.
Who now?
Michelle, this is Pierre. Pierre Boulet from France.
Pierre.
Yes, I'm calling you to talk about the black bubble people.
The bubble people?
The bubble people.
Which one are the bubble people?
The Barbucas. The Barbucas.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Yes. We have too many Barbucas in this world, and the snowy princess will not be coming until after winter is done with, Monsieur.
Well, it's fine.
But we will be we're with you shortly, and we don't want you to worry about the Barbucas. Don't worry because of the Barbucas, Michelle. It will be very fun.
Do I look worried? Michelle doesn't worry.
Do not worry. Do not worry. Mohammed does not want you to worry. Barbucas do not want you to worry.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? You sound like you're having a seizure or something.
But it was the Barbucas. It was the Barbucas. They were with me for a small piece of time. I'm doing fine. How are you, Michelle?
I'm good. I'm cruising, man. I got I'm trying to stay strong. The war stuff really turns my stomach. So it's I don't know. I'm fine though. I'm gonna be good. I'm good. They're not bombing me yet.
Yes, your friend with the camera, right? I feel very bad for him.
Oh, Steve? Steve's a survivor. He's used to that. Steve is I would say very confidently wherever he goes, he's knee deep in the shit.
Oh, I think I put too much oil on my feet.
Did you?
Like
nice.
Very weird. Yeah, it was too much oil. Too many barbucas.
Well, that's awesome. Did you just redo your oil just a couple today or what?
I redid my oil today.
Nice. That's cool, man.
I've got it all over my body.
I'm bathing in the shit. Had to call the neighbors in and have them slather me up.
I have 2 gallons,
Well, I'm sure that will work out very well for you. So what's happening, Michael? Michelle, are you still French? Michelle?
No, I'm not French anymore.
Okay.
I'm back to my Italian self.
So it's Miguel?
Did you like my authentic French accent?
Is it Miguel now? You're Italian, it's Miguel? Is that what's going on? Or?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Michelle.
Oh, Michelle.
Michelle.
Yeah, so here we are today. That last caller was kind of crazy. So, okay, so here's the deal, right? So this morning, like early this morning, like 2 a.m. or something, I pulled up my on the back part of the YouTube, they have like a place where it says what your standing is, like that you have like your community, your channel standing, right? So if you have like a copyright strike, it'll tell you there or whatever, and it says that I have this community guidelines violation thing, right?
Brand new?
No. It's from before. It's the one. It's the one where I was doing the broadcasting the Trump impeachment hearing live, just like every other news channel.
Yeah.
And for some reason I got a community violation for that video on a Trump impeachment hearing, broadcast off the C-SPAN, broadcasting it live at the exact same time, CNN, Fox News, every other channel on the world, doing my job, basically broadcasting the C-SPAN feed live, just as C-SPAN wanted every other news channel on the world to do. And I got a community violation for doing that.
And they responded to your question today.
No. And I made an appeal, and they said the appeal was not accepted. And then so yesterday I pulled it up to see what it said for community standings, and it said or early this morning, right? Anyways, yesterday, and it said. Expired. The violation expires on January 1st, 2020. And I was like,
oh, baby.
Right,
oh, yeah.
Right. So I pulled that up yesterday, and
today,
and that was like before the 7 o'clock. Like yesterday, I was trying to decide whether or not to do a show. Right, so I pulled that up about 4 p.m. and I saw, ooh, expires today. Why isn't? And I kept pulling. I kept, looking to see if it was unexpired. It might have been earlier than 4, because I remember I kept looking to see if it had expired. Has it expired? And it didn't expire. So I didn't do a show because I'm like, okay, I just want to get this expired. That's all I want to do is get this expired. And then tomorrow it'd be like, bam, brand new year, baby. Nothing changes on New Year's Day. My ass, right? So I come out, and now it says expires on January 2nd, 2020, right? Today being January 2nd. yesterday, and I took a picture of it yesterday, so I have a picture of it saying January 1st, which I don't have here to show you, but I can go make a video and show you. And I have a picture of one saying January 2nd, and I'm thinking tomorrow it's going to say January 3rd, and I'm wondering how long this shit's going to go on.
Let's see. The date today is the 2nd. So,
yeah. So it's been going on for 2 days now.
Well, you're just clean, dude. They're just going to forget about you until you fuck up again. And
No, because it says I have a violation here. It says, because it's like, it has like a red warning thing, you know. It says warning, you know. You have this thing going on, so don't fuck up.
So they didn't remove your strike?
No, they did not.
Oh.
And now it says expires on January 2nd, which is today. I just now pulled it up so I could check it. It says January 2nd, you know, which is today. I'm thinking tomorrow it's going to say January 3rd. The next day it's going to say, I don't know how long this is going to go on for. So
you have meddled with the primal forces of nature, Mr. Beal.
Well, I'm just making sure everybody knows that we're all on the same page here. I just want to make sure.
You don't think you're going to get shut down, do you?
No, I was just really looking forward to not having a strike against me, because that means, hey, I'm not going to get shut down. They pulled the strike away, and they didn't pull the strike away, so I don't know what the fuck is happening. But I'm making sure that you guys know what's going on, and I'll probably make a video about it later about YouTube shenanigans.
Yeah, well, not much has happened since, what was it? I think it was, the 20th of December, all those weird fucking rules, or the 10th of December.
Yeah, the 10th of December, yeah.
Yeah, not much has happened. Nobody's made any videos about...
Well, we're about to go to war with Iran, so I think that this is a lot of what's happening with the CNN and the YouTube, is that, and, you know, and even the Alex Jones getting kicked off, you know, is that we're about to go to war with Iran, and they need to try and grab a hold of the narrative as much as possible, right?
Well, no matter how much they try, they're not going to be able to grab a hold of the narrative unless they shut down the entire internet.
Right, but they might be able to. Oh, there, Craig has a picture up of the. See where you can see where, I don't know if you can see it or not if it's big enough, but it shows it where it says now January 2nd on there. So yeah. So
well, tomorrow they're just gonna change it to the 3rd.
I'm thinking that they will, but if they do, tomorrow we'll do a live show and I'll show you guys that tomorrow it says January 3rd, so you guys know what's going on. And I'm telling you, yesterday it said January 1st, so you know.
It's some sort of psychological threat. They're trying to fuck with your mind, Michael. Every day they're going to change the date, and it's like Groundhog Day. Over and over. It's like Chinese water torture, over and over until you crack.
Oh, I'm telling you, man, I fucking I refresh the page like every couple hours. I'm like, come on. Fucking cunts.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to go to war with Iraq, man.
Iran, I think that
or Iran either.
I think that there was a pretty clear act of war just a few hours ago.
Okay, well, what happened a few hours ago?
We just drone strike the Baghdad airport, killing this.
How many people were killed? One guy, right?
No, I don't think so.
Well, how many? I missed it, so you got to inform me.
I'm not. It just happened right before I came on the air. Okay, they just started talking about it at the 5 o'clock hour. I posted one story here about it, and I posted 2 stories there. I posted a story on the main page. What I know is that they killed what they're calling the second most powerful man in Iran, with a drone strike in the Baghdad airport. Okay, I'm pretty sure that there's families that fucking fly out of the Baghdad airport to go on vacation and shit. So I don't know how many people died, but hopefully we'll get some kind of an accurate report here in the next 24 hours.
We're just playing, man. We're just playing. It's just a psychological game. It's no big deal.
Yeah,
you know?
It's not playing. I mean, this is not any kind of 4D chess, if that's what you're saying. This is the real thing where, you know, I mean,
Trump is a genius. We just need to vote harder, Michael.
Yeah, well, Trump
we
may or may
harder.
not be a very stable genius, but in my opinion, bombing the Baghdad airport doesn't seem like a good plan, So I don't know what's happening, but I know that in the next couple hours we will, and I will make sure to let you guys try and keep you as informed. Craig's going to put a TV in here. He's working on getting a TV in here so that I can be having another screen to watch, because these two screens aren't enough for me. And that way I will be able to have a continuous news feed or multiple news feeds going in here while we're doing the live show, which will be really important if there's anything actually going on, like right now when we just got the Baghdad airport bombed. So but
that's cool. You could check the news live, and have like 15 open tabs and.
Yeah, I don't want to do that while I'm trying to upload and download and keep the live stream proper.
Oh yeah, you've only got one cable in, huh? Yeah, and so so that would slow down your upload and download.
I don't know what it would do, but I mean, I want to keep it. I have a number of things open, and we have green screen and other things going on. And I don't want to, I don't want to fuck with shit just yet.
Just got to rub some of that oil on your computer, Mike. It'll be able to handle it. How many computers you got in there?
In here, I just have the one. I have two at the other desk. I have another one in the living room desk.
I don't think we're going to war, man. I think some general. I think Israel ordered that motherfucking strike. To tell you the truth, the Mossad collaborated with some motherfucking American general and say, "Hey, we got the top Iranian guy, and since he's brown and he's not on our side, let's get him." And then we got him and his camel. And I'm not worried about it. We're not going to war with Iran. We killed a general, and now Iran will poop in the middle of the street, and then we'll poop in the middle of our street, and people will wave a bunch of flags, and black children will call you up and say, "I believe in my parties, man, and you're asking for money all the time, and join my side." And then something will happen in Malaysia, and it'll just kind of go away. I don't think we're going to war. I think we blew up a general. That's kind of commonplace practice on this planet. You got to blow up a general a week, otherwise you're not feeding the lions, and nobody's happy. Unless it's an American general. If you blow up an American general, that's a different story. But Iranian generals, Iran is not going to send a fleet of drones over Israel yet, but they should. But it was Mossad and the Pentagon that did that, and Trump was aware of it an hour and a half after it happened. He didn't know shit about it. He's told about it, just like you and me.
Yeah, well, I'm not. That's not acceptable. Okay, I'm not. He's commander in chief. The buck stops with him. Okay, if something that big happens, you take out the second most powerful man in Iran, okay, with a drone strike at a Baghdad airport.
He's brown. He's a brown man.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It's okay to do that.
This is a big thing, and there's no way that Trump's not in on it unless he's made clear to the Pentagon that he just doesn't want to be in on any of this shit. Okay, that's still this negatory thing that makes him culpable at the highest fucking place.
We just need to vote harder this time.
Yeah, no,
Michael.
we need to fucking.
We'll fix everything if we just vote harder.
We need people that are saying the words "war profiteers" in charge.
Yeah, well, you know what's going to happen if there's a war with Iran.
Yes, I know what's going to happen if there's a war with Iran.
Well, you're the one who's always correctly preaching against fear porn, and that's just, you don't be afraid, man, because, we got Russia and China going to hop to it, Syria's going to hop to it, Israel's going to get blown up, everybody's going to do the boogie-woogie, and when the dust clears, we'll drop some more bombs. You know, it's like they're not going to jump into World War III this week. I'm not really that worried about it, but Iran will do something, but it's not going to be bombing Israel or American troops.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of Iranians in Los Angeles, Southern California, don't you think?
What do you mean? You mean they're going to have a?
I mean, we just hit Baghdad airport, you know, so there's an awful lot of Iranians in Southern California. That's all I'm saying.
I know for a fact Iranians love LAX, and they would never do anything to hurt LAX. And the falafel stands will stand just like hot dog stands. The falafel stands will just stand, and everything will be okay if we just rub oil on our feet, and everything will be fine.
This is what I keep saying, but no one pays attention.
Yeah. I mean...
But I'm glad you're listening.
No, you've got you were up to your highest viewership about 15 minutes ago.
Wow! I guess you chased them all away, huh?
Yeah, it's getting bigger. You got black kids calling in from Chicago, man.
We're getting there. They legalized it. They started selling weed yesterday. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, somewhere else too. I forget where. Upstate, some state somewhere legalized weed also.
Excellent. No, well, Illinois legalized state.
Oh, I think it was a different state, dude.
Oh, okay, cool, good. I'm glad to hear it. The more freedom, the better.
I think I might have posted it on your Facebook page, but I can't remember. I just woke up. I'm feeling goofy, and too many barbucas. You know what a barbuca is?
It's not a type of wood.
No, barbuca means bubble. Barbuca. It's a very elegant word. Barbuca. Barbuca, Michelle. Barbuca. More barbuca.
I used to do a furniture store, and we used to do some different kinds of like specialty custom stuff with like really hard to find woods, and one of the woods was called barbuca or something like that.
Do you know what it looked like?
It was red. It was and very fucking hard. Like
Did it have bubbles in it? Like it looked like circular patterns?
I don't remember seeing bubbles.
Huh. Barbaca. Barbaca. Anyways, what else is going on? Just, what Trump does, he drops a Moab, a mother of all bombs. That, he micromanages it blowing up a mountain in Afghanistan.
Look, I don't know why you guys want to cut him slack on this shit. It is his fucking motherfucking job to do this, okay? It's his job to be in charge of this specific type of shit, okay? And if he's not fucking aware of it before it happens, then he does not belong in charge, okay?
Well, you're living in the Kali Yuga, my friend, and everything is crazy.
No, I'm living in the Barbuca.
People are crazy. We elect clowns for presidents, and Trump would be lucky if he could reach his own asshole to wipe his own ass, you know.
Trump is lucky he doesn't have to do that because he has people for that.
I don't know about you, but I think I prefer to do that job myself rather than to let somebody else do it.
Yeah, but you weren't born with the gold spoon in your mouth, excuse me. So you don't understand how it works.
Yeah, well, isn't it strange how everybody fucking glorifies these people? They glorify Trump, they glorify Obama, they glorify Bernie Sanders. There's probably people in Iran glorifying that general, and the truth is, we're all just fucking extremely flawed mortal creatures who hardly know anything. That's the truth. We're just a bunch of dumb fucks running around at the bottom of the atmosphere, bumping into each other, making a lot of drama and threats and posturing. And
that's the thing. That's the thing. But we could be making other things happen, though. We really could be making this really great paradise of a planet be just a great place to come and party.
Yeah, 500 million dead animals in Australia, man. I know that much is true.
They said 30% of the wild koala population.
Yeah, that's a tragedy. Every time something alive dies, it's a tragedy. Because I'm on the side of life. Don't cut down the giant redwoods. I love the sequoia trees. Don't cut them down. Don't kill all the kangaroos. Don't blow up Iranian generals. Don't blow our president's head off as he's driving through Dallas, Texas. And don't shoot little black kids that are just holding squirt guns. Stop breaking down people's doors, because somebody called the 911. Stop shooting people. It's like we're living on an insane planet, and I don't know what to do. I really don't think we're going to war, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. You got to hand it to the French, though. The French are trying to beat the fuck out of macaroni there, and
Yeah, no, I love it when the people go into the street. And I just can't stand these fucking rich twats that are like, oh, well, we're just gonna take away what you fucking worked for, and we promised you you were gonna have, and now we're just gonna take it away because we have to, because you're not gonna take it away from the rich people. I'm the rich people. You're not. He's such a fucking cunt. Oh my God, I can't believe, how does somebody like that go anywhere and keep their front teeth, right? You know what I'm saying?
He works for the Rothschilds, man. He's a Rothschild banker. He went on TV yesterday or 36 hours ago, and I was listening to the translation of his speech, and he was talking down to the population. He was talking such a pile of shit.
Yeah.
And
just such a pompous twat.
Yeah, pompous. That's the word I'm looking for. And he just enraged them all the more. And they went back out into the street and started burning shit, too.
Yep.
Was that? Yeah, they burned about 30 cars, didn't they? I think they burned about 30 cars because of his fucking idiot speech. What a dumb fuck. If anybody needs to be shot with a potato cannon, it's macaroni.
I was going to tell you, I was watching SpongeBob the other day, and he took down like a bomber, like a B-27 bomber with a potato cannon.
They work, man. They work. That's what, you can find them on YouTube. Entire 2-hour-long documentaries on the efficacy of potato cannons and the history of potato cannons. It's like, I think Tiberius Caesar had a fucking potato cannon, and they go way back. You can mount them on the roof of your car. If you don't have a sunroof, cut a hole in your car so you can get up and get those guys before they get you. You can.
We're gonna do a peaceful revolution.
You can shoot the Republicans and the Democrats.
We can always cut holes in the roofs of our cars later.
I think I rubbed too much oil on my face.
Sounds like it works. Sounds like it works pretty good, man.
I can't feel my face, Michael. I don't know. 911. I'm ODing, Michael.
All right. So you know what I want? I want while you're nice and in a zone, I'm looking for some music, man. We need some music for like a theme, like an opening song or some closing credit music or something.
Well, how long do you want it?
I don't know, the outro is probably like not necessarily super long, maybe 60 seconds, and the intro, it doesn't need to be any longer than that either.
And you want it, like, what kind of emotion do you want it to convey?
Punk.
Punk?
Punk emotion. I want to feel it spitting on me while I'm listening to it.
All my punk songs are on cassette, and they got a lot of hits on them. So it's like you don't want to listen to any of my punk shit. It's like 30 years old, and it was recorded on a cassette. So
well, all right, whatever. I'm just saying, I want it to convey off with their heads. That's what I want it to convey.
Something radical. All I can offer you is what the fuck ever. It's gonna take me. I'm so lazy.
Just whatever. Go do whatever. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, dude. You're a musician. You keep telling me how you're a musician. If you want, I could use some music. Maybe Drunk Pete will give me some music. Never mind.
You're welcome to rifle through what I got on YouTube and use whatever. You can mix it in and out. You can
you can do the hokey pokey and turn yourself about.
No, man. I would recommend go to my YouTube channel and just look at that song Revolution and take a couple minutes out of the fast part. That's easy. People have done that before.
Yeah, I'm sure that that's already happening. So
yeah. Well, whatever. You're welcome to use anything I got up there, man. But I'm not in a space right now to record something special for you.
Never mind then.
Well, man, I got responsibilities
I don't need anything tomorrow. I would just
I got heroin addicts running around here. They want their property back.
Oh, yeah? They showed up?
One of their relatives showed up.
Oh. Well, I don't know you.
I don't know if they're in the Mexican mafia or what, but I'm going to have to deal with it next week. We'll see what happens. But, no, I'm not worried about it. It's like,
I'm not worried. Do I look worried? Do I sound worried to you?
Okay, yeah, well, people with records and warrants don't do too well against landlords they fucked over, so I'm not worried about it. Besides, I would never go into a conversation with those people without a gun, so I'm really not worried about it.
Too much information, dude.
Too much?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. I just, I don't, you don't need to, tell us too many details of when you might have to go and whack someone.
Yeah, I'll give them back as much stuff as I got and just send them on their way. But, I think once people get out of jail, they're kind of beat up and downhearted, and they ain't got no money, and they ain't got no place to stay, and their car got fucking impounded, and they got, they're probably on probation or parole or who the fuck knows what. And it's like, I'm not worried about it. Yeah. I'm more worried about Iran, and I'm not even worried about Iran, I'm sorry for the
I'm not worried about Iran. I'm fucking worried about Donald Trump. Okay, he's sending more troops there, more troops there, more troops there. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how many did he send? Because I thought it was only about 150 or so.
No, he sent at least 750. Yesterday.
To the embassy.
They said to the Middle East. They're not being quite specific. But I don't know. I heard the same thing again today. And you know how they are. They'll send 750 and then another 750 and say that the Pentagon sent 750 troops deployed to the Middle East. And it's like, and then the next day they do it and they say, well, we heard that yesterday. So it's all bullshit. So I think that the numbers are going to be fudged no matter what we hear.
I did see something really stupid on Democracy Now! This morning at about 5:30. An entire fucking probably 20 minutes on how crooked the dictator of Syria is. I couldn't believe that Amy Goodman would put out that shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? It's like I can't. What a show. What a clown show Democracy Later is. It's such a fucking propaganda piece of shit.
That's too bad. That's really sad. I mean,
yeah,
there used to be somewhere where you could actually turn to for some information.
Yeah, it's like it's not right, man. Amy Goodman used to be okay, but now she went full. She went full cray-cray on America, and you can't trust her anymore.
Yeah, and Mitchell's saying Press TV got kicked off the YouTube last week. So is that a coincidence that, that all of a sudden, and then they bomb, the general? There's shit happening, dude, and it's really. I mean, I'm not worried. I'm not trying to fucking do fear porn to you people. I'm not trying to do fear porn. I've never been about that. This is stuff that needs to be talked. It's like when you were saying the other day about that clip about the guy who was the Washington state representative who they were calling a domestic terrorist, right? Accusing of domestic terrorism because he was hanging out with the Bundys, right? Remember that?
Yeah, right. What happened with him?
That's what I'm saying. This is, these kind of things need to be talked about, so it's that I'm not doing any kind of fear porn if you're suggesting that.
No, man, I know you're not doing fear porn, but let's just wait and see what happens. I don't think it's too explosive of a situation. If anybody needs the credit for that, you put it squarely on Israel. They are definitely and directly trying to drag the United States into a war with Syria and Iran.
I don't understand why anybody wants to give Donald Trump cover, okay? But the buck stops in the White House with fucking Donald Trump or whoever is sitting in the Oval Office.
Trump is the chosen one,
the way this has been written, the way I understand it, Trump is the commander-in-chief of the military. So I don't give a fuck what Israel said to do. If he's their lapdog, that's fine, just like Barack Obama, just like fucking George W. Bush. I don't give a fuck. It stops. Okay, what I care about is the responsibility of who's saying our country needs to fucking bomb somebody, and that stops with who's ever in the Oval Office, which is Donald Trump right now. Just like when Barack Obama was doing it, and everybody wanted to make excuses for Barack Obama. Bullshit. Okay?
Israel has 6 nuclear submarines and 400 nuclear bombs, and they can drop them on Iran, and Iran has to use conventional weapons to respond. And Israel is crazy enough to fucking do it. I mean, everybody on your chat room knows what the Samson option is. Do you know what the Samson option is, Mike?
No, I don't know what the Samson option is.
Okay, well, what did Samson do? He was chained to the temple by his enemies, so he pulled down the entire temple on his enemies. The Samson option means every capital of Europe is already targeted with an Israeli nuclear missile.
Right. It's entirely possible that there's one sitting off the East Coast also. You're talking about submarines, right?
Yeah, I think they're all in the Mediterranean. They're pretty new. They're only a couple years old.
Yeah, well, it doesn't take that long to get to the East Coast.
Well, don't worry. Everything's going to be fine.
I'm not worried, okay? Look, the deal is I just want the person who's supposed to be responsible taking the responsibility of this, okay? Which is Donald J. Trump, just like it was Barack Obama before him and George W. Bush before him. Okay? And I don't give a fuck, Israel this, Israel that. Yeah, whatever. The person who's supposed to be in charge is Trump at this moment. And he's the one who chose to fucking drone strike the fucking Baghdad airport.
He found out about it later, dude.
No, I don't give a fuck. That is not acceptable. That is unacceptable. Something not no. This is a major act of war. Okay, this is the first story I posted. They said assassination at least 3 times. Okay, that word is not thrown around by this media. Certainly not by the fucking talking about the U.S. assassinating someone.
Take a step back, because we do that shit 7 times a week. We just don't target generals. We target children and farmers and weddings. It's no different because we hit a general in an airport. We do it 10 times a week for the last 7 years.
It's different when the general is the second most powerful person in Iraq. That's pretty different. In Iran. Okay?
He might be if he's a general, he's the second most powerful person in the Iranian military.
Well, it was being described as the second most powerful person in Iran. In the story that I posted earlier, right before we came on, this happened. It was airing. The Iraq State Television was talking about it, and they were saying that this guy was the second most powerful person in Iran. Okay, whether that means Iran military or what it means that he's very, very. So this is an act of war. Okay, it's clearly an act of war, and they were calling it an assassination. Again, these are not words that are thrown around lightly. You know this. Okay, so because otherwise, like you're saying, we would be hearing it all the time. We don't hear this word. So this is we just have to make sure. We just have to. Look, I'm not trying to get people afraid. I'm just trying to make sure. What I'm trying to make sure is that you know who's responsible, so that when you go to vote, regardless if you have to fucking whatever, or not go to vote because you can't stand the idea of voting for someone you know is going to give you a war with Iran. Okay?
We just need to vote harder, Michael.
Do you think that Bernie Sanders? You think if Bernie Sanders is elected, that there'll be a war with Iran?
No, Bernie Sanders will. He will invade Cuba, I think, and take all the Cuban cigars out of Cuba, and that will be his big contribution to American history. Like he'll make Cuba the 51st state against their will. That's what Bernie Sanders will do. But who would Jesus bomb? That's a better question. Who would Jesus bomb?
I think at this point he'd bomb us all.
No, he'd bomb Israel. That's who Jesus would bomb. He'd bomb the.
I think at this point he'd bomb us all.
Back into the stone caves.
Okay. All right.
Michael. So what? Oh, I sent half a gallon of coconut oil to your house.
Oh, good.
It should arrive tomorrow.
Okay, thanks so much.
Check the mail.
Be sure and tell everyone on the television about it.
Okay, what are you going to do with your third screen? Your TV.
It's going to make television. The screen's going to go up on the wall and make television.
You're just going to watch it while you're doing a live stream.
It's just going to be a feed that shows me what's going on in the world while I'm doing the live stream.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, rub some oil on it, Michael.
And Craig says it, and then if something's happening, I can always put I can turn the webcam that direction, or we can put it in the background. He's trying to figure out where exactly to put it.
My son's got that going on, and he can take his mouse and take something from one screen and go through another screen all the way to the screen on the right. And Craig can probably do the same thing for you.
Yeah, no, that's what there's two screens here, and they're hooked up that way. But he's gonna add a television. He's gonna put a television with a cable box somewhere where it's accessible possibly to the webcam. Besides me being able to watch it while the rest of this stuff is going on.
Yeah, I sent a half a gallon of coconut oil to Craig too at his house.
Okay. Thanks so much for that.
Okay. I have to go get some more oil on my face.
Okay. Well, good luck with that.
Oh, man. I need some fucking coffee. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Thanks for calling, Michael. It's good to hear from you. Stay cool.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
All right. That's our buddy from Southern California. He sounds very relaxed today. Not going to get me any music. What kind of musician? What kind of musician? Oh, I don't have music for you. Oh my God. I asked for nothing. I ask you for nothing. Oh, I know, I beg. Oh, I'm begging for music. Can you give me music? Please give me music. What?
I was wondering if I could be your moderator.
Well, you know what? If you keep calling, there is a chance one day soon you might be able to be the moderator. Except for I don't really believe in that because otherwise I would have made like Wilco or UTN moderator a long time ago.
Oh man.
But I don't really believe in that. Craig, I don't even think Craig's a moderator. So you know.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll keep calling.
Okay. Good.
Bye.
And that caller was the anonymous caller. He had settled down into his position quite well. And who is this caller? Hello, caller.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
I'm good. Who is this?
This is Cecil.
Hey, Cecil. It's good to hear from you. What's going on, man? Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, brother. How you guys doing?
Happy New Year. I was gonna make that the title. Happy New Year, New War. It's the bombing stuff, the never-ending war stuff just gets to me all the time, Cecil. How about you? What's going on? How are you doing?
I'm all right, brother. I'm just relaxing in the new year. Work's kind of slow and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like with the new year falling, with the holiday falling right on Wednesday, it's not like you're going to jump right back into work on Thursday. Give me a break, right?
Right. You didn't even have a show on New Year's Day, did you?
No, yesterday, I have a guidelines violation strike on this page, on this YouTube page, and they said if I get another one, that it'll take away my privileges to do live shows and stuff and upload. And I didn't want to lose privilege, and I'm trying to fucking protect there's like 10,800 videos on this page, so I'm trying to protect the archive. And so yesterday I went to look, and it said that the violation expires on January 1st. And I was like, oh man, all I want to do is let the violation expire. I don't want to do a live show. I don't want to do anything, right? But I kept checking it throughout the day to see if it had expired, and it hadn't. And then so I didn't do a live show yesterday. I just wanted to let the thing expire and then come out today and be like, bam, we got all our perfect rights back. We're a shiny golden star. And I went to check it, and it said violation expires on January 2nd.
Yeah.
And it still says that. I just checked it a second ago, and I'm worried it's going to say tomorrow. It's going to say expires on January 3rd. And I sent a bug thing to the YouTube people. I was like, hey, this is fucking up. Why is this fucking up? There's like send a report or whatever to the YouTube. And usually they listen, because I don't send a lot of those, and I get a lot of traffic. So anyway.
Well, you creators, you guys have like an email or something where you can get a hold of YouTube?
No, it's at the bottom of the page. It says like it says help, I think. Let me see what it says.
Because normal people can't get a hold of YouTube. There's no phone number.
No, it's impossible to get a hold of YouTube. But like at the bottom, like if you go to the video manager page, right? It says help, and then when you click the help button at the bottom of the page, if you scroll all the way down, it says send feedback. So that's the only way that I know to contact them.
Oh, okay. Speaking of YouTube and Iran, bro, do you remember when that chick shot up freaking YouTube headquarters?
Yeah, I remember that.
Her name was Nassim. Damn, I can't remember her last name. But she was from Iran.
Huh. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that that's like, related to anything, but I hear what you're saying. I think that's just kind of a coincidence. I don't think that, she was a crazy person that was, trying to that was being driven extra crazy by YouTube,
Bro, they demonetized her channel.
Yeah.
And she was like, bitch, I'm going to demonetize your life.
Yeah.
You fucking went in there.
Well, I mean, yeah.
And this little thing was fake. I don't know.
No, well, the thing is it might have been fake, but I don't know either. You know, it's a lot of people wrap their life around the social media thing, and then when something like that happens, where you know. You don't you don't do anything wrong. You're just doing what you do, and all of a sudden, you know, oh, you don't get any more money. You're like, what? You know, I don't know. And besides that, you know, I mean, I've had them take down multiple pages that have like 10,000 videos on it, and that's tens of thousands of hours of work, and it's like that's just crazy. I mean, that just breaks your heart, you know. So
no, I get it, man.
Yeah.
It's not like you can like complain or sue them or whatever, you know, because now they're like they did something to where they're like it's like a I don't know. They're not a public space where you can go and speak. They're like a private company, you know.
Yeah. No, I don't agree with that, but I know that that's their argument. Is that they're a private company, so they don't have to protect, there is no protected speech or whatever. But I see this as the largest public square in the world, on the planet, and this is, you know, the YouTube is the largest soapbox on see, the internet is the largest public square, and YouTube is the largest public soapbox. So there has to be a dimension of free speech and people's rights to be protected in that speech, because otherwise they have way too much power, which
I heard
they kind of
that
do.
this shoot is going to get live streamed.
Well, I didn't hear that, but that would be awesome. It looks like those people are pretty serious, like they really do want to be making things happen.
Right. Their software, it's kind of got some glitches in it a little bit, like their comment section is a totally different website called Discuss. But if you look, or if you go on BitChute and you go up to the top right-hand corner, they've got like a little dollar symbol and it says like percentage.
Yeah.
And they're done getting those, I think they said they needed like 60,000 or something like that. But they're going to put live streaming on BitChute, which if they do that, I'm never going back to YouTube again, bro. Like, why do I use YouTube? You know, like, I mean, I understand your point of view, man. You put so much work into it, but it's like.
Well, again, and it has the largest audience. I mean, this is where the audience, there's a billion people on this page at any given time, you know. So, and it's possible.
Sure, man. And hey, I just wanted to say I really appreciate your work, and I've been able to like educate people using some of your videos.
Right on.
And
that's what it's all about.
Yeah. I think that in the Middle East, we should just military blockade the whole area and just let them fight it out.
I think we should just get everybody out, all our people out of fucking Iraq and Iran, out of the Middle East. We don't need to be there. Get the fuck out, man.
Afghanistan.
I don't want. Okay, yeah, we don't. There's no reason for one more fucking soldier, U.S. soldier, you know, to die in Afghanistan, and there's no reason for him to die in Iraq. Okay, I mean, there's reasons, but those reasons suck, and it's not worthy of a fucking life of one of our guys. So bring him home now. Bring him home now. Bring him home now.
Right. When I saw Trump standing up there talking about like, when he was supposed to take the troops home this last time or whatever, like a year or two ago, and he's standing up there going, well, I'd like to get him out of there, but things are a little bit different when you're the president. That's when my view of him started to go south. I always told myself, you know, I'm going to give him like his first 4 years. Trump has basically disillusioned me from all politics.
Yeah, I think Obama did that for a lot of people too. And it's not just that. It was the election, the 2016 election, you know, because Bernie Sanders could have beat Trump, and the Democrats wouldn't allow that to happen, and I think that just made so many people go, fuck all these people.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Probably Hillary accepted more bribes, or as they have more blackmail on her than Bernie or something like that, and that's why they were trying to install her. But I'm fuck politics, man.
Well, it's we can't be, it can't be like that. See, this is especially when things like, you know, starting a war with Iran are a potential outcome of politics, our politics. You know, we have to fucking figure out a way to be able to take our government back. You know, and again, as I keep saying, I believe that way to the peaceful revolution is to banish all political parties from participating in our government. So it's just, you know, we don't have that anymore. It's just Americans voting for Americans on election day, and that will bring out way more people to the polls, and we'll be able to question people better about why they're so pro-war, you know, or why they're so, you know, this or that, instead of it, well, this is what the party says I have to be, basically. You know, if you're a Republican, this is who you are.
I don't think, honestly, man, I think the vast majority of people are anti-war. It's our government going to war for our quote-unquote allies or whatever. So, you know?
Yeah, I think the American people are just as tired of war as I am. And I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick.
Which is why, man, I wanted to tell you, in order for us to put boots on the ground in Iran, there's a whole bunch of evil people in the world that want that. They're going to have to pull another 9/11 on American soil.
Well, they're going to have to do something to try and convince the people that that's what has to happen. And that, I think that's what this is. That's what Trump is trying to make happen. Is he's trying to provoke them. There's you know, when they were like seizing the oil tankers and you know, saying that Iran attacked this oil tanker with missiles and shit. You know.
Oh yeah. It was a freaking Japanese boat while the Prime Minister of Japan was in Iran talking to him,
right,
or something. Some nonsense like that. You know, freaking Iraqis hate our guts, bro. There's probably been over 1 million of them killed by our military after 2 wars occupying that.
They want us out of there. They want us out.
Everybody wants us out of there, even us.
Yeah.
But the point is if Iraqis and these whatever they're trying to say they are, Wahhabis or Islamic radicals or whatever, if they didn't have a reason to hate our guts before, they definitely have a reason to hate our guts now.
They have a plenty good reason to hate us, and it's so sad that that's, you know, that's what's being done with all of our fucking treasure and resources and our goodwill, because this is supposed to be something that we're making happen so the planet can be a better place, but obviously that's not what's happening. It's like with the drug war, you know, with the drug war, you have a drug war. What does that get you? An opioid epidemic. You know, gets you people fucking everywhere strung out on heroin, right? So
that's why we're in Afghanistan.
It has a lot to do with it. It seems like, huh? Garden poppy fields.
That's one of the major reasons why we're in Afghanistan, I think.
Yeah. Seems like it. I think. Well, there's it's supposed to be giant like deposit of lithium there too, from what I understand.
Resources, yeah. That's why we went into Vietnam. It wasn't just to take over the opium. They had what was it? Rubber trees or whatever that we needed, or something like that.
Sounds right.
But yeah, man. I freaking got all drunk and started texting my freaking manager, basically my landlady, is like this really nice looking Filipino girl.
Yeah.
And then the next day, her mom like brought me some pancit and some Filipino food and shit. And yeah, anyway, she has 2 kids but no wedding ring on, so I'm kind of like cautious. You know what I mean?
Filipino girls are very nice, very nice. I have a friend who's Filipino, and she's very, very sweet girl. And they work really super hard, and I mean, they're take care of business kind of people.
Yeah, they like to party too. They're very hospitable in that way.
Well, that sounds pretty good.
I mean, I put them on a par with Mexicans as far as how much they enjoy partying and festivities and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. They enjoy getting together and sharing food and stuff like that. They love that.
Yeah, man. But anyway, her mom's all asking me "Oh, you have a girlfriend?" I was like, "No, she's no."
Right on. Well, lucky.
Yeah.
I would say you go there, General. Just keep your eyes open.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hey man, I gotta take off, but Happy New Year,
hey,
happy
Cecil.
holidays and all that.
Cecil, Happy New Year to you too, and it's good to hear from you. Thanks a lot for calling.
Yeah, I'll call back later this week or something.
Okay, cool. Looking forward to it. Anonymous is calling again. I'm not going to take the anonymous call right now. Let's see. We have another clip. What do I have another clip of? Okay, so you saw the clip of the Trump drone strike in Baghdad. And I don't care who you guys want to say, oh, Trump didn't know about it. The Pentagon made it happen. I don't know why people want to try and I don't want to say give Trump the benefit of the doubt, because I don't think that's what's happening. Well, I think that you're trying to make excuses for why the commander-in-chief of the U.S. military doesn't have to be responsible for a major act of war against Iran. Okay? So the only person who is responsible for this is Donald Trump, regardless if he knew about it or not. Okay? And that's the facts. That is the facts. Not the only person, but that's where the buck stops. Okay? Just like with Barack Obama. I was the exact same way with Barack Obama. I was the exact same way with George W. Bush. Okay? I'm not a flip-floppy, wishy-washy kind of guy. I hate this stuff. I hate it. What's Andrea correct about? Mitchell, what are you saying? Mitchell didn't get her icon back yet. You notice that? She didn't get her icon back. Oh, there's a caller. Oh, there's another caller. Oh man, I keep missing all the callers tonight. Okay, so what was I saying? Mitchell didn't get her icon back. Mitchell had her icon taken away 2 or 3 weeks ago. And how come Iranian Jews won't move to Israel? Would you move to Israel? How is Anonymous calling twice? I have one call from Anonymous and another incoming call from Anonymous. How is that even possible? Huh? Huh? What is happening here? Legalize weed. Now that's a comment I can get behind. I have a clip of these people, like some Fox News roundtable talking about the legalization and how people are greedy and they're gonna make it like cigarettes, and they just want to paint everything like it's evil instead. And these are the people that will wave the American flag, right? And you heard me with the caller from Chicago. I was like, hey, congratulations on your new freedom. How come they can't be like, yay, freedom won? Freedom won in another state today. How come I mean, because to me, that's what I see happening. Even though the legalization scares the fuck out of me, because I know they're going to go, like with the vapes, how they're going, oh, well, this is bad for you now. You can't have it anymore. They say, oh, well, cotton can gummy bear flavored vapes, that's only to attract children, right? Like adults would never eat a gummy bear, right? I mean, that was one of the reasons I wanted to try vapes in the first place, not because I have an issue with nicotine, but I have an issue with with licorice, right? And I thought, ooh, red licorice vape? Oh man, instead of eating a box of licorice, I could take a couple of puffs of red licorice and maybe enjoy it just as much. And then it just wasn't anything I was attracted to. But okay, so let's take this caller then.
Take this call.
I'm pushing one. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, can you tell me more about this war with Iran? Tell me more about it. I'm kind of, I wanted to learn. You seem like a wise man.
Well, it just seems like the government, the U.S. government, which can never seem to get enough war, is now pushing for a new war with Iran. They just drone strike the Baghdad airport, killing the second most powerful man in Iran, as I
wow.
Yeah. So
what kind of environmental impact or nationwide or worldwide impact will that make, do you think?
Well, it depends on what the next step is, man. We have to wait and see where the next shoe bomb falls, so to speak.
Oh my God! Well, that's awesome. Well, not in that sense, but so yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Okay, thanks for calling. Hello, caller.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, Mike?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm a little bit sad.
I'm a little bit sad too. The war stuff makes me sad. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got some numbers for you.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you what happened in Iraq today.
Okay.
So it starts out with turmoil. It started with a contractor, a U.S. contractor, and he started acting up, and they took him down, and that led to invading the U.S. Embassy. There are fires right now. So they've been setting fires all around the U.S. Embassy. After how many years have we been there? I know, 2 times the length of World War II. They still don't want us there.
Yeah.
$2 trillion, $7 trillion coming due in a couple of decades.
Yeah.
$7 trillion, all borrowed. It's all on a credit card.
Yeah.
189,000 casualties. 37,000 U.S. troops maimed or killed. 255,000 people dead in Iraq.
That doesn't count the guys who committed suicide after they got home, too, right?
No.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about. A couple of guys a day do that.
20 guys a day plus.
Yeah. It's shocking. It's really shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty bad. The Pentagon's saying right now that they have 5 more sites they're thinking of bombing. Of course, Iran is kind of upset, and this contractor said that he was attacking
Iraq. Iraq is very upset also.
Well, yeah, I mean, so you have Iran upset, and you have Iraq upset because they killed 25 people with the drone on the airport.
Okay.
So it's not just like the one guy.
Yeah.
Some general, was probably on his way for vacation. I don't know. It's the fog of war's settled in right now, and it's not looking good. Of course, it seems to me that Israel's pushing this war because they have no one left to slaughter in Gaza. So if you want to keep U.S. money funneling into Israel, you got to have an enemy there. So they're just going to start poking Iran, to keep the money flowing. That's what it seems like to me, anyway.
Well,
you can't do much in Gaza. Netanyahu's going to take over a big chunk of the East Bank. These people are done. It's complete apartheid in I guess what you could call Palestine, or what was known as Palestine. So there's really no enemy anymore.
Well,
so they need an enemy to keep the $38 billion plus.
Well, there's Syria. They're surrounded by enemies. All you have to do is talk to them for 1 second. They'll make sure you know that.
Well, they're creating that.
Yes, that's
that
exactly right. So is the Pentagon. The Pentagon is creating it too, so that there'll be, as I said for many years, so that they'll have they're creating an enemy that they will be able to profiteer from for generations to come. That's what's happening.
Yeah, and I can tell you how that works too, because not only do they get the $38 billion, that's somewhere between $4 billion a year from us. On top of that, the part of it, the deal in the past has always been that we give this money to Israel, and they invested in our military-industrial complex, buying weapons to protect themselves, and we get jobs. That's how they can justify it in the past. This time around, Israel wants a 60-40 split. It wasn't Trump who approved it, because this is part of the Iran deal, and the money that was supposed to go to Israel, the $38 billion that Obama promised. Actually, they wanted $45 billion. Obama gave $38 billion, but that was thrown in the trash when Trump canceled the Iran deal. And that whole thing was set up through John Kerry. So, I can go back and explain that if you want. But nonetheless, of course, Trump, president of Israel, king of Israel, starts negotiating with the Congress to get them the $38 billion back. Congress approves it. Now there's a lawsuit against Congress for giving that money to Israel, because the claim is Israel has nukes. And according to international treaty, we're not allowed to give any money to any country that has nuclear weapons.
Awesome. Who's bringing that lawsuit?
I got a link somewhere.
That sounds awesome. Those people are my hero.
Yeah, I got your Twitter, so I'll tweet it to you. I know I have it at hand. So anyway, so they're soon out. You're talking maybe 10 years before that lawsuit gets anywhere.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, they're trying to stop the money from going to find out, does Israel have nukes? And the reason, we've got the international law thing. We're not supposed to give them any money at all if you got nukes. And they didn't even sign the NPT, so the treaty for nuclear proliferation treaty.
Right.
And if they got nukes, they have to sign that. If they don't, then they're an enemy. They're sworn enemy of the world. Anybody who's not in that treaty. So it's a real slippery slope there. Okay, so you got that situation going. All right, well, they put that aside. Of course, Congress puts that aside, gives Israel the money anyway, because they lobby Congress through AIPAC, and they own the media, and they've got the banks. So they got all the surveillance. Every phone call goes through Israel or the Israeli company here in the United States, in Tennessee, actually. Just found that out. So you got that situation going on. So what Israel decides to do this time around with the Congress, they tell them, this time, instead of us buying weapons just from you guys, we want a 60-40 split. That means that we want 60% of the weapons we buy. We want to do it ourselves. So now this is what they've done. They've doubled and triple dipped on this $38 billion. They come to the United States. They buy some weapons, planes, and stuff like that. Hire our workers, but 150,000 families in Israel are invested in the military-industrial complex here in the United States. So when they take our money and buy weapons from us, they're actually getting dividends from that money to the investors in Israel. That's double dipping right there. Then what they've done is they said they want certain things custom made. So let's say, for instance, you've got this little plastic piece, right?
Yeah.
And you say, we need these plastic parts for, I don't know, let's say a wheel cover on these planes. And they go, okay, but we have a new design. And we want you to follow that design. And we say, okay. So the design is, what they do is they move the screw over about 2 millimeters. And then they put a patent on it. Now they're getting royalties from our companies for the design. So that's triple dipping that they're doing. So every time you turn around, they're gouging money from us all over the place. And all we have to do is just walk away. All we have to do is say no more. That's all we got to do. And we could take all that money, put it into the crisis of the opioid crisis, we could put it into the infrastructure, we could put it into building a wall, we could put it into health care for everyone. Because what this does, when we give this money to Israel, it gives them free education, free health care, and housing, free housing and food for more than half the people there. And, they're raking us over the coals. So now what they have us doing is they have us dying in the Middle East for them, too. This is crazy. This is just crazy. And you get called all sorts of names. You get labeled all sorts of things. But I think what's happening now is people are waking up and saying, well, let's look at the records. Let's look at the facts. Look at the documents. And that's what's coming out now. So that's where we are. Now, the question is, will we go, will Trump do it? Will he okay the Pentagon to 55 locations, which actually throws us into Iran? I don't know. I hope not. But what it does is it escalates an endless back and forth on the border, which keeps us in the Middle East. And we need to come home. And we need someone who's going to bring us home. And it's not going to be Trump.
Yeah, I think that if you're voting for Trump, that you're voting for a war with Iran at this point.
It looks that way. It really does. And ironically, of all the people probably who I think might keep us out of there is a guy from Vermont who's Jewish.
Yeah.
And that's Bernie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think he'll do it. Who knows? It's hard to say. It's Bernie.
Well, he's talked a lot. He's talked a lot against war for a long time. Over the last 20 years, he's talked a lot about being, us spending our money and much more wisely.
Yeah, and he talks about. He did mention that. He's the only presidential candidate who didn't go to AIPAC.
Huh.
So that's something there. He didn't show up. He wouldn't go. He won't do it. So that's kind of interesting. So you got to have this guy who's a Jew to go in to get rid of this problem we have with Israel, the home of the Jews. And he also said that he would take part of that $38 billion that Congress approved if the lawsuit doesn't, make its way up, and he would give some of it to the Palestinians to help them.
I believe I heard him say that too.
Yeah. So, it's kind of tough. There's a lot of things I don't like about Bernie, but, compared to everything else, Biden, you might as well just have Trump, who's, corn pop Biden.
Biden's fucking insane, dude. Biden's just
he's
nuts.
No different.
Yeah, he's
really
he's
different.
Nuts, man. There's something wrong with that boy.
He's got some issues, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
It was always funny, get that foot and mouth disease with old Joe. But he's just going to do as he's told. Just like Trump, I think, is. They must have a lot of shit on these guys to do what they're doing. Epstein must have had so much stuff. I know that there's these reports out there on Biden when he was vice president and living in the vice president's home. And they would have Secret Service around, always keeping an eye on him. And the female ones, they would always say whenever they were there, he would walk around naked.
Huh.
This guy's a degenerate,
There's something very wrong with him. I mean, he's always been kind of a weirdo, but I mean, now it's like it seems way worse.
Yeah, as he gets older, look at what the old Pappy Bush did. He was pinching girls on their behinds in his wheelchair.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be doing that in my wheelchair too if I have to get in a fucking wheelchair. So
I don't think so.
I will. I will. What are you going to do? You going to me too me, baby? Me too me, baby. Come on.
I don't know. They're all kind of scummy. I mean, the whole Franklin thing with Bush 41. You know all about that back in the 80s. That's pretty tragic.
I mean, it's almost like it's wide in the open. We all know that they're scumbag and we all let them get away with it. But I mean, the alternative is what? To letting them get away with it.
Secession. What do you think?
I think that the reason they're getting away with it is because of the political parties. I think that this is the major flaw in our country, is that if we just got rid of the political parties, that we would actually have a chance to take our government back.
Explain to me. The banks own both parties, right?
Yeah.
The banks own the Republican politicians.
Yeah.
Personally. And they own the Democrats because the Democrats borrow money from them. And so when the Democrats need money to run a candidate, the banks say, well, we don't like that guy. Find somebody else.
Right.
So the banks own both parties. And you have communications. 6 companies own all our media. 90% of it anyway, other than some, like, YouTube. So now you've got all these people, these wealthy elitists who own the media, they own the banks, and the corporations, which are the lobbies. So they own the Congress, which means they own the laws. So what do you have left? There's nothing left. Yeah. I mean, Jefferson would be, he'd spin in his grave. Jackson's spinning in his grave. Washington's spinning in his grave. They're going, what's wrong with you people? Why are you so stupid?
I agree. We gave you everything you need to get rid of these fucking worthless scum. Why are you letting them rule you?
Yeah, and you get that woman who called in earlier, the stupidest woman. I mean, I was losing it because of her stupidity. And she's sitting there defending Barack Obama, who's a war criminal. And I mean, the whole deal in Libya. I mean, he brought back black slavery, for Christ's sake. This woman and all the people like her, they're so stupid. And it's not just Democrats. Those Republicans are just as dumb too. But it's just the amount of they just say, "Oh, I heard this," or "Someone told me that," so now I know. No, you don't know. and it's the media's job to tell you, but the media is not telling you. Just like they're hardly saying anything about what's going on in Iraq, and you have to go outside. You have to go to international news agencies all over and find it out through YouTube. Otherwise, nobody knows what's going on. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for all this low IQ immigration, for all these refugees, for all the illegals coming in. This is all happening because they want to keep people who are not very smart, not well educated, who are desperate, frightened, and will just go along with whatever the government says. Those are the worst people you could possibly have in a democracy.
Well, they want everyone to be frightened. They want you to be fearful, because when you're fearful, then you turn towards strong leaders who say things like, we have to fight them over there so we don't have to fight them over here. And you're like, this is exactly the guy we need right now.
You know, I gotta say, when Bush stood up on that pile of rubble after 9/11 and got his megaphone and, you know, was saying, you know, we're gonna go get him, you know, whoever did this. I mean, he must have been shocked at the reaction he got. I mean, I bet he didn't even believe that you know, he would have that many people behind him. I think he was just surprised, and
he was so hated. I mean, he was so hated before 9/11 happened. You remember that, right?
I do remember
people hated him because he wasn't elected. You know, he was installed by the Supreme Court.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They stopped the count, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, it's like he was like, "What do you mean? I lost in Florida camping. My brother's the governor there. What are you talking about?"
Right. Coincidence? I don't think so.
And my Miami Herald counted the votes, and Gore won, but he gave it up. Then he probably would have been much better. I mean, 9/11 was going to happen any way you look at it. You know, it was planned before the election anyway, but you know who was behind it. There's a lot of. It's like Cheney said, you know, you're going to need a Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
To get people to get the Middle East and. For Americans to go, and they did it. And then they went and they go after Osama bin Laden, who didn't even know what was going on, right? Because he's out in the middle of nowhere. And they go and they start bombing Afghanistan. The next thing you know, you're in Iraq, and the people are going, what? Oh, yeah, I guess it was Iraq who hit the World Trade Center. Like this stupid woman who called you earlier who believed that it was Iraq. They must have done something. Because big government says so. Oh, I just wanted, that's the person you want to just like shake them violently and maybe slap them a couple times and say, read a book for Christ's sake.
Well, I want them, I just at least listen to what's being said. You know what I mean? There's because I'm willing to, you know, you can say that I'm wrong, but just listen to what I'm saying, because this is important. And you know what? Because these people are doing evil, and they're doing it in your name. And this is what really bothers me, is I don't want them doing this in our name. Okay, because because the whole world looks at us, and they should. And acting like it's our fault that these evildoers, these horrible, horrible evildoers are running around spending fucking trillions of dollars in our name, committing heinous, evil crimes just to make themselves more rich. It's disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, it's really kind of, that's the bottom line. It's just, how can you possibly make as much money as you can? You always do it to war. Just look at history. Go back to Napoleon. Same thing. Bankers keep doing it. Go back to the Domitians. They keep doing it. It's always war, 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 war. You make money destroying it, and then you make money building it back up. And, you know, who cares who dies? It's not you, because because you're one of the string pullers. These people are just stupid. I mean, really, there's just way too many people on the planet. You know, we got to stop. They got to stop breeding. Please, that girl, please don't breed. You're 37 years old,
I don't think that's true. I think she is full of shit at every turn, so I wouldn't count on the fact that she was
if she's that old, she's just way too stupid to live at this point. But I think we're heading for secession. There's already movements, 27 pieces of legislation on state tables right now, looking for revisions.
Yeah.
You have California already in the throes of it. You got Hawaii and Alaska's already has, they've already got something moving there. You got a couple movements in New England. You got some around the Great Lakes, and of course, Cascadia, out where you're at. So, they're just growing. Utah's already doing it. The Northwest Front over Montana's already been waiting for it for like 50 years. So, and the thing is, and this is the hard part for me, because I like the idea of secession. I think we need to break this place up. The hard part is that the people who are behind, who would like to see the United States balkanize and break up, are guys like Buffett and Soros. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, I can't believe I'm agreeing with these two guys.
Yeah.
Why do they want this? Because it's easier to control. They know which direction people are going to go.
Wow.
They know that the Southwest is going to be flooded with Hispanics, and that's where they're going to go. And they know that the Southeast is going to be flooded with blacks, and that's where they're going to go. And all the white people will go straight up north. And they know what they can do. They can start taking the country apart, piece by piece by piece, with their banks.
Yeah.
And whoever is smartest people and are able to deal with the resistance, and you know how bankers are, they have plenty of time to wait. That's how they're going to win. And then I think they're going to just let China go into Africa and India go into the southern part of Africa, and the northern part and central will be China. They're already there in Nigeria. This is the one thing I don't understand, especially about African Americans in this country. Their homeland, where their kin come from, from the continent of Africa, all over the place. Sub-Saharan Africa is the richest continent on the planet. It has absolutely everything. Every kind of mineral, every kind of precious metal, oil. It is rich in farmland. It has everything. And it's all theirs to do whatever they want with. And they don't go home. They won't go back. Not only will they not go back, what you find out is the people who own the land that is theirs are mostly Israelis. Ooh, big surprise. And they could just go and take it. They could just go and take it. But they won't. I don't know why.
Well,
because if somebody says to me, go back to Europe where you belong, and I know that there's stuff underneath that ground, and I know that continent's rich, and I can walk in there anytime I want. I'd go.
Well, so do you have any New Year's resolutions?
No. New Year's to me is more on the solstice. That it is the first of the year. I kind of get it and everything, but I can't say, I'm working on some projects.
Right
so I'm
on.
just doing that.
Projects are good.
Yeah, you got to have a lot of projects. And then, and I'm really working I'm getting more and more into this whole secession idea.
Yeah. What about, do you like the Cascadia? You like that idea?
Yeah, well, I like what they're doing there. There's a lot of different fractions, some towards the right, some towards the left. I like that, Canada or British Columbia is part of that.
Yeah.
People have said that they want to go as far south as Jefferson, which would be Northern California, all the way up Oregon.
Yeah.
Along the coast, and there's another stream that comes off the Columbia and into Spokane. And I think that's, it just depends. I had never thought of moving to the Northwest. Briefly. But you guys got a little nuclear problem there. So
well,
I kind of changed my mind.
There's problems everywhere.
Yeah. Well, you got a leak.
Yeah.
And so I just thought, but then, there's a big Yellowstone thing too, which is kind of interesting. Have you looked into that at all?
Talking about super volcano or something?
Yeah. Do you think that's true?
Well, there's a super volcano right off the coast of Oregon too. So.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. And
I didn't know that.
And I have nightmares about it.
Really?
Yeah.
How far off the coast?
About 70 miles, I think.
Is there a name for it? I never heard of it.
I'm not sure if it has a name or not.
I know that Mount St. Helens went off, 20, 30 years ago? Something like that?
I think it was 20 years ago. I think it just had a 20-year anniversary a few months back.
Yeah, how's that thing doing? Is it any rumbling coming there?
There's rumbling. It's it's the West Coast. There's always rumbling on the West Coast. Yeah. But the super volcano off the coast of Oregon is rumbling like a motherfucker.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. You think it's a real volcano, or is it something with the Tetons and the aliens?
I don't know about aliens, but from what I understand, it is a volcano.
Yeah. Well, gosh, that would be unfortunate. Yeah. What are
they? That's putting it mildly.
You're not that close to it, are you? I mean, how far will it? I mean, it'll cause a lot of cooling for a while, but how far will damage go?
It's going to be, if a super volcano goes off, it's going to destroy everything. It's going to go.
Really?
It's going to go nuclear winter basically for quite a while.
You think it's that? Oh, no. Because when I was looking at it's bigger than Yellowstone?
It's about the same size, I think.
Well, from what I gathered, just, and it's mostly briefly, on Yellowstone the effects would be felt probably as far east as Chicago. That's where you would see, the plumes go up that far. But that's pretty much it. I mean, of course, Wyoming.
I don't know. I think you'd be getting a lot more than plumes that far. Like
you think?
Yeah, like we're talking about fire and brimstone shit, dude. Probably nationwide. Yeah, it's fucking
shit.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Montana, but now I'm having second thoughts.
Well, there is no safe place. What you want to do is find a place that you like and go there. I love the Northwest. There's nowhere else I want to be. So.
Well, I mean, are these scenes behind you, or are these part of your neighborhood?
I don't know where that's from, honestly. It's from part of that's part of the YouTube neighborhood. Yeah,
where do you get those?
Off the YouTube. I just type in waterfall and there's like a bunch of different waterfalls. I like that one.
Oh, that reminds me. I should also look for me on Twitter, because I'll send you that link for the lawsuit. But I'll also give you the link to YouTube to figure out what's going on with your channel, and a direct link to somebody there who, because what you're dealing with there, what you're getting is the AI.
Uh-huh.
And you're going to keep getting the AI until you actually have a person step in. And I'll give you the Twitter person, the person at YouTube on Twitter.
Okay, cool.
But, yeah, I don't know what Susan's doing, man. I don't know. There's something wrong with that woman.
But I think there is something wrong with her, yeah.
And Sergey and Bryn both left.
Well, that's crazy.
So they left Google.
Well, really you know what I mean? You get so much money and you're good, right? I'm going to go spend some money.
Yeah, but that's not why they left. That's not why they left.
Yeah.
They didn't like the way it was, where they were going. So, and that was because, what's his name? Schmidt? Eric Schmidt, remember him?
Uh-huh.
He's been cutting deals with the CIA. For Google and CIA, so I guess that pissed them off. But, they don't have that, they didn't have the power anymore. It all goes to a board. And then Susan, as you know, the whole Google thing happened in her garage.
Yeah. She's Google employee number 16.
Yeah. So, and her, her sister owns 23andMe, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That family is really interesting. The fact that, there's a petition, I think they got 90,000 people that signed it to, fire her from YouTube. But
that's all.
There's no way.
I think there'd be like a million
I don't know, it
people ready
might be
to
up
sign
to
that
200,000. I don't know. But if anybody wants to go sign it, there's a petition to fire her. I don't think that they're going to listen to it, though.
Probably not.
But
you would think, if that was you, and there was like a million people that said, "Get the fuck out of here," you would think she'd be like, I can probably go find something else to do. You know what I mean?
Well, she's got money and everything, but it's the power struggle. It's like I don't care what you think.
Yeah, I think so. I think some people thrive off that shit.
Well, look at Trump. I mean, how many failures has that guy gone through? And, the bullshit. And, even from his stakes to his education, he just keeps going because it's, he was a huge disappointment for a lot of people. And I don't think they're going to show up this time around. He doesn't have the meme magic with him anymore. They're trying to create it with these groypers. Are you familiar with those? The groypers?
The what?
The groypers. Are you familiar with those?
I don't know what that is.
Okay. You know what Pepe the Frog was, right?
Yeah.
And you know how that kind of swept through the 2016 election?
Yeah.
Well, there's this new, stream of this toad. And it's called the groyper. And there's these groypers who are basically conservatives who are standing up to, a lot of the rhinos and these neocons. And I don't know if you ever heard of TPUSA.
I don't. That doesn't sound familiar.
No. Okay. So it's TPUSA. This is Trump is backing this thing. And basically what they do is they go to college campuses and they get all the young Republicans there, to get them all riled up to get the vote out.
Huh.
And these guys who were part of TPUSA said they were kind of tired about that they're not espousing conservative values like the immigration, the degeneracy, homosexuality. It's like all this stuff that Republicans were always known for as being, kind of like Christian,
right. They're social
stuff.
Values. They're social conservatives. They're not real conservatives. They're social conservatives, which means they want to impose their social values onto you and your family.
Yeah, kind of. They just don't. Well, they don't want the party to. They think that they should be represented, right? Because there's other ways for people who are in that kind of different behavior to get representation. And Trump has embraced what they would consider the degeneracy, and they want this to stop. And so you got this guy who leads the group of TPUSA called Charlie Kirk. And Charlie Kirk his father actually used to work for Trump. He's a young guy, 25 or something like that. And he's like in charge of this multi-billion-dollar, organization, which is funded by Sanger, Adelson, and Koch, and Marcus, who owns Home Depot. So those hardcore neocon, libertarian kind of conservatives. And so this guy Charlie says that the idea of conservatism of the Republican Party is that America is an idea. Not a country, not a nation, doesn't matter. America's an idea. And this really pissed these people off, on the right. No, America's a country, and we're part of that country. It's our nation. It's our country. We love it. We died for it. Our parents, And so this caused sort of a split, and they got this name, I don't know how they got this name or who took it up or why they call them this, but they started being called the Groypers. And they go to these meetings where TPUSA shows up to have these like rallies. And they say, we're going to answer your questions, we're going to give you some swag, and we're going to give you a literature, and, we're writing a book and we're going to talk about it. And so there's kind of like these conventions. And these Groypers started showing up, and they started going to ask questions. And they were asking very, very poignant, hardcore questions about, where the Republicans are headed. And nobody wants to answer these. And so they want to talk about immigration, and they're all, the conservatives and Republicans are saying, well, we want immigration. America's a country of immigrants. We just want legal immigration. And these guys say, no, we have too much immigration. You've got the 1965 Immigration Act. It was great when you're sending doctors and when you were getting, really smart people who were coming here. But now you're just taking anybody, and they're killing people, and this has to stop, and they're low IQ, and they're just on the welfare system. And so there's all these issues, and they want to talk about them, but this TPUSA, which is funded by these libertarians who really kind of want to destroy the United States and make it a shithole, as Trump would say, so that you have all these low-income people, and you create this vacuum of rich and poor, and that's where they're going. And you can feel it. You can see it. 70 million people in the United States without health care, on the edge of poverty.
Yeah.
One emergency and they're dead. They're homeless.
Yeah.
So they're trying to confront this. They're saying we can't have this in the country. We need to have a middle class. You need to pay people better. They're sounding like liberals, really, if you listen to them, because a lot of them are Christians, a lot of them are Catholics, and they want this. They don't discriminate. They don't care about race and that kind of stuff. Although they are a little sticky on gender, they don't like the homosexual thing, and they think women should go back home and have babies. So they're kind of like that, area. But nonetheless, they're standing up. They're Republicans, and they're standing against the Republican Party.
Yeah,
and so
they're trying to stand up for what they think different values that should be expressed.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah, that's all they're doing.
Yeah.
But they're being chastised for it. They're being called Nazis, and they're being called racist and anti-Semite and all this stuff.
Well,
and
that's
now,
the thing is that people love to place these labels on them, like Catholic or whatever, it's stupid, or, they just want to label people because that makes it so that they put that person in their box and then they're done with them.
Right.
And this is why, again, we have to, it doesn't do any good. These fucking labels don't do any good. Go ahead.
Well, it's a compartmentalizing, is what they're doing. And yet, at the same time, you have like people like that woman who called you earlier, and she'll just suck that stuff up. It's bad because I was told, because it's in that box.
Yeah.
So that, the loss of free speech, you've noticed that.
Yeah.
Especially on YouTube. Now, Trump, I can't believe this. And I know a lot of people are going to go, well, that's fine. I don't care about them. Trump wants to get or have it investigated and taken away the religious rights of Scientologists. Now, we can disagree on Scientology in a lot of different ways. We can criticize it for some of the history that they have.
I don't think so. I think that, I've said again and again, all your religions are the same to me. Okay, I don't.
Right, but
I just
under
don't
the
care.
Constitution, look at it purely as law, under the First Amendment.
Yeah, at which point they should all be the same, right?
Right.
Yeah, they're
And
all
he
the
wants
fucking
to
same
deny-
to me. Exactly. I'm just like the Constitution. They're all the same. Okay, so
Well, Obama, we lost the Fourth Amendment under Obama. And God only knows with the Patriot what Bush has done. to the second, and now Trump is talking about flag laws.
Yeah.
What the hell? That's pre-crime.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Little by little, they're whittling away at all the rights.
Yeah. Which is why we have to get rid of these people. And it's both sides. Again, it's Trump, Obama, Bush. You know, it's both sides.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just the Republicans, or it's not just the Democrats. It's both of them working hand in hand to lead us to this fucking police state, you know, over intrusive nanny state, over criminalized every fucking human being we can, you know.
Right. And every day, I mean, what they say, on average, you commit 79 felonies without even knowing it.
Yeah, I've heard something like that. Yeah.
So, I mean, and you've got this situation in Virginia, which is kind of interesting. Well, you're talking about you're on the verge of civil war there.
Yeah, I gotta go. I got another caller.
Oh, okay. Well, a lot of topics covered, but hang in there. And you know, keep them going. Just keep.
I'm hanging.
That girl.
Yeah.
She needs to be educated. She should keep coming back, and she'll get some.
Well, I think that a lot of people come back, even though they don't think that they should. They come back and then they chill out a little more, you know.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. It's nice to hear from you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, Mike. Take care.
Bye. Okay, so let's see. I have a clip for you. What clip do I have? I have a clip right here. It's a clip. Oh, it's a car driving off a cliff, and then the car disappears, and the person driving the car disappeared. So let's play that clip while I heat up my bong. I'm heating up my bong, Wilco. Thank you very much, Wilco. Wilco donated. No one else has donated. No one. No one donated last week, and only Wilco has donated this week. So thank you, Wilco. Because it makes me feel like you want me to keep moving forward and be strong, and you want me to keep doing this and get through whatever's going on so that we can fight and be here and talk about the war and fucking, you know, have a free speech platform where it's not just one side or the other, because, you know, I don't like either side, right? So it's not one side or the other. You're one of those. I'm not that. I don't like either side. Again, I don't like these labels, you know. I didn't call the caller from Chicago stupid or anything like that, you know. Actually, I think I did call her something. I said she was being a douchebag, but she's being a douchebag. She called me and starts this shit with me. So, but I didn't call her stupid. I don't think I called her stupid. Because you know, I'm not. That's not what I'm thinking. You know, right? I'm thinking, well, you're misinformed. Okay, you are misinformed. The people that are the true evil are both sides, and that's why we have to get rid of them. Our only hope is to get rid of them. If we can get rid of them, then maybe we get some actual Americans in Congress and the White House representing us instead of fucking Republicans and fucking Democrats. Because I've had about enough of fucking Republicans and fucking Democrats. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mox. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. It's Chris calling, and I'm coping with the crisis in the world like everyone else.
Hey, Chris, can you hang on for just a sec? I want to play this video.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me turn off the sound.
Hold on just a second.
I just made some pizza.
Nice. I was going to make a pizza, too. Hold on just a sec.
I haven't made my own.
Taylor live for us this afternoon where it happened with an update on the search.
Well, in that dramatic video you're about to see, this is where the car went over the cliff. It's about 100 to 150 foot drop down to the ocean. And authorities tonight say at this point who was inside and what caused the SUV to go over this cliff still isn't known. Along this picturesque oceanside cliff off Highway 1 in San Mateo County, a tourist camera captured a disturbing video. While the passing motorist was driving southbound on Highway 1, he witnessed a dark SUV driving the other direction all of a sudden drive across the lanes and off the cliff Monday morning. At one point, the car is temporarily airborne before disappearing. It happened south of Great Whale Cove State Beach and north of Montera State Beach. Right now, investigators say all they have is this video and the tire marks left behind.
We don't know if there was foul play, but we will look into that. We don't know if it was intentional and or if it was merely an accident where they happened to veer off the road.
A dive team, drone, and helicopter scoured the area for several hours Monday, but the high surf has prevented any further search.
Unfortunately, due to the conditions, we weren't able to continue the search, had to stop it. Tide has been high, the conditions have been rough for the last couple days. So right now we're just still on standby. All we have is a video.
Some car parts have washed ashore in the area, but investigators say they belong to several makes and models, so they can't connect the dots to the SUV, which they say should have turned right with the road, but instead continued straight.
We did not find any markings on the rock side or the cliff side, so we can only suspect that the vehicle did veer off and fall into the water.
Does it appear there are any brake marks at any point, or that the vehicle tried to brake at all?
Yeah, not that we see.
The CHP is reviewing missing person cases in this area, but say so far they've not been able to make any connections. At this point, they say they're waiting for the water conditions to improve or something to turn up.
All right, Maureen Naylor with that very dramatic video there. Thank you very much.
Go ahead and do it. Okay, so we're back, and we got Chris on the phone. Hey, Chris, how are you doing?
Hey, Max, I'm doing great, and it's been a good program this evening. Very lively with lots of different opinions.
Well, I think it's been an interesting program. Thank you.
Yeah, I do too. And even if somebody has a different opinion, and from just if I was an objective judge or a person who's just looking at all different points of view, I would say that in comments and in addition to the callers, that the whole package, I've actually seen a lot of different opinions. So it isn't like there's some monolithic thought that's going on your channel. And I think that's appreciated. So I'm very glad that you entertained the woman who called and set her straight, told her what you think. I think that's commendable.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought she actually might have heard a couple things that I said too.
Or she definitely had her mind blown away, like that there actually are people who might not believe in God or might not believe in the two political parties. Whoa! Oh, wow! Heavy.
She seemed a little bit blown away by that, huh?
She seemed blown away to me just by her reaction with her voice on the phone. I noticed that. So this thing that happened, this assassination, that's a great word. I'm glad they used that word. From what I understand, assassination is like if you assassinate a general of another country in another country, I think that's like grounds for, that's an act of war.
It's an act of war. That's a pretty major act of war.
It's like by definition, it just is what that is.
Yeah.
I did find the snip from RT. It says it was posted an hour ago. It says, Pentagon says Trump directed assassinations of Iran's Quds Force Soleimani to deter future Iranian attacks. And it says U.S. President Trump authorized U.S. military strike, which resulted in the death of Iran's Quds Force commander Soleimani. The Pentagon confirmed, quote, the strike was aimed at deterring future Iranian attack plans. The United States will continue to take all necessary action to protect our people and interests wherever they are around the world. So I guess the world is our oyster now, and if somebody is doing something wrong 15,000 miles away, it's our responsibility to correct that behavior. I mean, it just doesn't make it like we're not a global police force. I think Washington, people have referenced George Washington in this conversation. I mean, I think he made it really clear about standing armies, that the moment you have a standing army, you got problems, because they always need a battle to fight. They always need another object, another goal to strive towards. And we always kind of disassembled our army in the United States after war. Even after the Civil War, send a lot of people back. We don't keep a big standing army.
Right.
And that's what that Posse Comitatus Act was about in the 1800s. It was about separating the role between the police and the military. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case after World War II. After World War II, something strange happened in the United States. We did not completely disband our army. And in fact, we maintained our military at exceptionally high levels for over 75 years. Some economists call this military Keynesianism, which means instead of spending money on bread and butter to give people jobs, you spend money on guns to give people jobs, and it stimulates economic growth. The defense industry, right?
Right.
But unfortunately, the defense industry doesn't really give us anything in return except for death and destruction and future enemies. So it's a spiral that just keeps going out of control. And it's where we're at.
It's not just a spiral. It's something that is bound to blow up in our face sooner or later.
It's, just like a nuclear bomb is designed to be used, right? All of these weapons that we created were designed to be used. They weren't designed to just be some, paperweight in somebody's office.
Right.
They are designed to be used. And if you think about that, all of these nuclear weapons around the world, including the ones in Israel, including the ones in North Korea and China and Russia and then India and Pakistan, all of these nuclear weapons inevitably could be used. So we need to disarm. We need to start taking these nuclear weapons apart so that there's no chance of them being used again.
It's incredibly important. It's incredibly important.
And we haven't had a movement like that in this country since the Sane Freeze movement and the anti-nuclear war movement during Ronald Reagan's administration, right? That's like 40 years ago, 35 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's how long it's been since we've actually had a movement in the United States opposed to nuclear war. Part of the reason I think that is because of the bipartisan consensus on war. Both Democrats and Republicans are getting money from the military. They're supporting military foreign policy. So the public is either a Democrat or a Republican, and when their leaders tell them this is what we must do, they just blindly say, okay, yeah, maybe that is what we should do. And the duopoly has created these conditions, in addition to the money and all the other arguments that people made in comments and on the calls.
That's what I keep saying. Is that it's not. I don't know how much it had to do with creating it. I would think that it has everything to do with it. I would love to be able to give it credit for everything to do with it, but I know that it has everything to do with keeping it in place. I know that for a fact. The duopoly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, definitely, it maintains the status quo.
Yeah.
There was an article from the Asia Times that was just posted in the last hour. That's kind of a biography of who Qasem Soleimani was. So he, in my mind, and just in the course of hearing about this in the last few hours, he kind of reminds me of General Petraeus, David Petraeus. If you recall, David Petraeus was in charge of Afghanistan. He was in charge of Iraq. He was I think he might have been in charge of CENTCOM. I mean, he was in charge of a couple of different big posts. Oh, right. He also was the director of the Central Intelligence Agency, if I'm correct on that. So David Petraeus is not people don't talk about David Petraeus with the same amount of gravitas, right, or the same amount of respect as they do Donald Trump. Right? Everybody knows who Donald Trump is or who Joe Biden is. But people just kind of barely think about, Donald Petraeus, David Petraeus. That's right, that general guy. I think that's who this person was. Very popular in Iran, and according to his biography, here's really briefly, it says, I did mark one quote from this short article. It says, in a rare interview on Iranian state television in October, he said he was in Lebanon during the 2006 Israel-Hezbollah war to oversee the conflict. To his fans and enemies alike, Soleimani was a key architect of Iran's regional influence, leading the fight against jihadist forces, so he was fighting al-Qaeda, and extending Iran's diplomatic heft in Iraq, Syria, and beyond. To Middle Eastern Shiites, he is James Bond. Erwin Rommel and Lady Gaga rolled into one, wrote former CIA analyst Kenneth Pollock in a profile for Time's 100 most influential people in 2017. Quote, to the West, he is responsible for exporting Iran's Islamic Revolution, supporting terrorists, supporting pro-Western governments in waging Iran's foreign wars. With Iran roiled by protests and economic problems at home, the U.S. is once again mounting pressure from the outside. Some Iranians had even called for Soleimani to enter domestic politics. While he had dismissed rumors he might one day run for president, the general had played a decisive role in the politics of Iran's neighbor, Iraq. As well as talks on forming a government, he was pivotal in pressuring Iraq's Kurds to abandon their plans for independence after an ill-judged referendum last September. So there's just a couple of details about this person who was murdered at the airport this morning, or this afternoon.
You think Tulsi Gabbard would make a good Secretary of Defense?
Yes, I think I think she would make a good Secretary of Defense, and I think that if Sanders or Warren gets the nomination, she would have a chance. But absent that, I don't believe any of the other candidates would appoint her to their administration. I don't think so.
It looks like the only one that's got any money is Sanders.
Yeah, I read something, and I think it was in Real Clear Politics earlier today, that said Buttigieg had the highest amounts for the last quarter for fundraising.
No, I think
Sanders had
Bernie Sanders had
Sanders
like
10
more.
He had 5 million individual contributions or something like that.
It looked like it looked like Buttigieg had like 24 million and Sanders had 34 million from what I saw.
Okay, I might have misread that. Then you're probably right. Well, that's good news. If you're a Sanders supporter, that's good news. And I think that would probably be one of the only ways that she would get in the administration. So I did another search for the Iranian Revolutionary Guards, the Quds, this elite force, and just trying to get a sense of who these folks are. And there were some people like, how do they compare with Navy SEALs and stuff like that? But they're comparable to that. They're an elite special operations force, and when I looked at their webpage, they listed all the countries that they work with, that they're allied with, and that they have joint operations with. And of those countries, Russia and China were right there prominently on the list.
Yeah, I think Russia and China made it clear over the last couple of weeks that they're standing with Iran. So, I mean, if you're Iran, I'm pretty sure Russia and China made it clear that we're in with them. So, don't fuck with Iran.
It's kind of weird too, because from that RT article about what Donald Trump was the person who did the authorization for the strike, but also the reason that the Pentagon said that they did it was to prevent future Iranian aggression.
Yeah, because that's gonna stop it.
Is that like Orwellian doublespeak? Murdering a general is going to prevent escalation?
It's some kind of it is an Orwellian doublespeak. But it's really what it is it's a programming. This is what we're saying. This is, these people just repeat what it is that they hear, as opposed to actually, learning anything or trying to understand what's going on. They just repeat what they hear. This is why, again and again, I've said I don't want to come out here and be these talking head people, because what happens is, you see, I mean, when you see somebody who watches Sean Hannity, right, and they start repeating talking points of Sean Hannity about climate change or whatever, and you're just like, oh man, why are we even having this discussion, I just I feel bad for them, and I want them to, I just want to say, look, you have to think for yourself. I don't want to say you're fucking stupid and you're a sheep and everything. You have to understand that these people are trying to program you, and we have to understand that those people are extremely programmed. And hopefully we can snap them out of it. But it's not that they're bad people. They're just fucked up. They just have really fucked up programming.
I think the extent of the matrix in terms of information control is much more intense than either one of us even understands. I think it's so intense that it's almost impossible to stick your hand outside of the fabric of information that's been kind of wrapped around us. I had a very unsettling experience this last week because the commenting board that I participate on was all fucked up because of Discus. Discus was mentioned earlier, and Discus is one of the third or I think they claim that they have 2 billion individual hits a month. It's the third largest database of information, and outside of Facebook and Alphabet, and they service something. I think the number is 270 million, websites for their commenting feature.
Okay.
And I've been participating in their commenting platform since 2012. And have accumulated thousands of pages of my writing, which aren't even my writing because they own my content, right? So when you use a commenting platform, the commenting platform owns the content. And if they want to remove your database, just like YouTube can remove a channel's database, they can do it at will, and it's very difficult to get your material back.
Right.
So that it's this weird social media platform that I participate in, but and it's mostly about politics, right? Because it's comment fields outside of articles after The Hill or Real Clear Politics or a myriad of little websites that just focus on politics and investigative journalism. So Discus allows those comment platforms to share information from one website to another. So I can have 75 friends, right? And I can have 5 friends at The Hill and 5 friends at the World Socialist website and 5 friends at Real Clear Politics and 5 friends at Breitbart. You see what I'm saying? It enables people to get information and share information across multiple platforms. And unfortunately, what happened the day after Christmas is those features on its website were shut down in the United States. So everybody who made a comment on Discus, basically their comment stayed right where it was in the magazine's comment thread, right? But nobody else in the world could see that comment was made or respond to it by giving it an upvote or a downvote, showing some kind of approval or disapproval of the post. So there were literally tens and tens and tens of thousands of people who recognized that their writing in comments wasn't being shared with other people because this had just been shut down. Discus, the website, did not give any notifications to anybody for 5 days. And this is during the Christmas holiday when everybody is home and sharing their political opinions over dinner and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But they're not able to share the ideas that they gleaned from those conversations on their comment platform, except for the one website that they typically go to. I typically go, say, to Truthdig. So that's where most of my commentary is. However, only my friends in that one very, very isolated community knew what I was thinking for those 5 days.
Well, I'm glad Truthdig is still around. I used to like them.
Yeah, they've gone definitely more towards corporate Democrats than they have been in the past. It's sad, but so the point about Discus is, I think that we are.
You know what it is. You know why? You know why? Because you have to pick a side. If you're gonna make money in this fucking world, you have to pander to a certain fucking side. Whichever one it is, you just pick that side and say, these are the suckers I'm gonna make money off of, and then you fucking write books that appeals to those people, and you fucking steer your website that appeals to those people, and you fucking, you know what I'm saying? And that's the only way to do it. And that's what everybody does, and that's what makes Mox News different. God damn it!
It does, and all of the features on Discus were turned on this afternoon. They've been down for like a week for some people, 5 days for other people. They were turned on today, but there was no. I did research on this yesterday for 8 hours, and I couldn't find any media outlet that wasn't embedded in Discus format that described to the rest of the world that this was occurring to all of these people who were using this commenting platform at all. I did find out that the owner of Discus, he also owns a company called Zeta Global. He's the CEO. He was a bundler for Hillary Clinton and gathered $129,000 for her 2016 campaign.
Well, that doesn't seem like very much, except for who the hell would give money to Hillary, you know?
It really does. It really doesn't. There's like a $5,000 limit. So if he gleaned like $120,000, he only got 60 people at his party. It ain't that big of a deal, but it definitely shows what his political affiliations were. And these are the people who promoted Russiagate as well, the Clintonites, that part of the Democrat Party. Food for thought. I just think that we're going to see a clampdown on all platforms, Alphabet, Facebook, platforms like Discus, smaller platforms, and that it is concerted, and they just don't want us talking about the idea of going out in the streets.
Right. They that's what's happening is they have to control the narrative. They have to control the dialogue. And we've seen it going on now for a couple of years, and it's just getting stronger and stronger. Like somebody was mentioning in the comments that Press TV got kicked off YouTube just like a week ago or something. Oh, Mitchell.
A couple weeks ago, yep.
Yeah, Mitchell was saying
That's
that.
right.
And you know, so and now all of a sudden we're all of a sudden on the edge of war with Iran. So Press TV is Iranian state television for you guys who don't know.
So you can't even go to an Iranian news source on YouTube to get the other side of the story because you're not allowed to even see the other side of the story.
I'm so surprised they haven't kicked RT off yet, honestly.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting why that hasn't happened. I mean, maybe that's a beacon of hope that it hasn't been removed yet. I watched a video yesterday, and this was a person who worked for Barack Obama. He was a lawyer named Cass Sunstein.
Uh-huh.
And he was in charge of of Barack Obama's information services and managing information within the government. And he gave a speech in 2014 at the National Archives, which is a place where the Library of Congress and all the people who manage information for the federal government. He gave a lecture to those folks. And in the course of his lecture, the subject of it was called Conspiracy Theories and Dangerous Ideas. And the presentation is about 40 minutes long. Afterwards, though, the best part of it was the Q&A when people were talking about 9/11 and people were talking about real conspiracy theories that had been proven true, like the Gulf of Tonkin resolution and such. But it's a good video. It got me doing a little bit of reading, though, about this guy. And he had created these outlines back in 2008 when he right before he worked for Obama, as his information czar, about how the elites could control information. What would the government have to do in order to counter people starting to believe something that the government doesn't want them to believe? And this is a brief excerpt from a Wikipedia article and it's the part of the article is called "Conspiracy Theories and Infiltration," government infiltration, and I'll go really quickly. And this is what it says. It says, and the author is this person, Cass Sunstein, a Harvard lawyer who was he's the most cited legal scholar in the United States, and he worked for Obama. Sunstein co-authored a 2008 paper with Adrian Vermeule titled Conspiracy Theories, dealing with the risk and possible government responses to conspiracy theories resulting from cascades of faulty information within groups that may ultimately lead to violence. In the article they wrote, the existence of both domestic and foreign conspiracy theories, we suggest, is no trivial matter, posing real risk to the government's anti-terrorism policies, whatever the latter may be. They go on to propose that the best response consists in cognitive infiltration of extremist groups, where they suggest, among other tactics, quote, government agents and their allies might enter chat rooms, online social networks, or even real space groups and attempt to undermine percolating conspiracy theories by raising doubts about their factual premises, causal logic, or implications for political action. They refer several times to groups that promote the view that the U.S. government was responsible or complicit in the September 11 attacks as extremist groups. And if you watch the video I referenced, a couple of the people in Q&A really tear him apart when they say, how can you say people doing research about their families who died in this terrible incident are extremist, right?
Yeah.
By seeking the truth. That was one of the points that they made. But there's one more paragraph and I'll stop. The authors declare that there are 5 hypothetical responses a government can take towards conspiracy theories. We can readily imagine a series of possible responses. 1, the government might ban conspiracy theorizing. 2, the government might impose some kind of tax, financial or otherwise, on those who disseminate such theories. 3, the government might itself engage in counter-speech, marshaling arguments to discredit conspiracy theories. 4, government might formally hire credible private parties to engage in counter-speech. 5, government might engage in informal communication with such parties, encouraging them to help. However, the authors advocate that each instrument has a distinctive set of potential effects or costs and benefits, and each will have a place under imaginable conditions. However, our main policy idea is that the government should engage in cognitive infiltration of the groups that produce conspiracy theories, which involves a mix of 3, 4, and 5. That was rather long, but the reason I threw that out there is that way back in 2014, the person who was in charge of information for the government and who was a close friend of Barack Obama, the guy is married to Samantha Power, the warmonger, it's his wife, came up with these guidelines about how the government could respond to people starting to believe ideas that the government doesn't want them to believe. And some of the methods that they were going to use are the ones that I described to you. And this was 3 years before Russiagate, 3 years before Prop or Not, 3 years before, whatever, the stuff I was talking about with Discus or the bannings that you're talking about on YouTube. See what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that these policies have already been implemented, is what I'm saying, Mark.
Yeah, they've been, and I think they were going on before 3 years ago, too. I mean, we've all seen the shills talking stupid shit on the YouTube. They're not all trolls. A lot of them are paid by one government or another, I guarantee you.
To just create chaos.
Well, to fucking cast doubt and to, talk support, give support to the other side or whatever. Hey, you go ahead.
That's that. Thank you so much, and thanks for all the calls earlier. And again, I'm really glad that you spent the time talking with that younger caller earlier. And I hope she goes and buys a joint and chills out a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's very good advice. Thanks very much, Chris.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Talk to you soon. Bye. And that's our buddy Chris from Olympia. And I have another clip I want to play for you guys. It is today the Turkish parliament voted to go into Libya. They're going to move their military into Libya. The Turkish parliament is now prepared to go into Libya. I'm going to go ahead and play this for you. Hold on one sec. It's clip number 2. Right, clip number 2.
Libya's parliament has denounced Turkey's prospective military intervention in the country as high treason. Rival administrations in the east and west of Libya have risen following the 2011 ouster of Muammar Gaddafi. In April, the commander of the eastern forces launched an offensive to take the capital from the UN-recognized government, headed by Fayez al-Sarraj. This Thursday, Turkish lawmakers approved a military deployment to help his government.
Bolstering Tripoli's military clout, Turkey has voted to send troops to Libya. Lawmakers in Ankara gave the bill the green light after Tripoli's beleaguered government of national accord asked for backup in the ongoing conflict with rival factions from the east of the country.
The total votes are 509, 325 in favour and 184 against.
Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan had already pledged his support to UN-backed Libyan Prime Minister Fayez al-Sarraj, describing the threat to his authority as a putsch supported by Arab countries and Europeans. Sarraj's forces have been under attack from fighters led by General Khalifa Haftar since April last year, vying for control of Tripoli. This vote gives Turkey a one-year mandate to dispatch troops to Libya, along with a maritime accord covering the eastern Mediterranean. Yet for Libya's rival administration, Ankara's move is stoking regional tensions.
He is obsessed with the idea of restoring the glory of the Ottoman Sultanate in order to control the Arab world and the whole world.
Thursday's vote has also been criticised by neighbouring Egypt, where officials called it a violation of international law. And the UN's Libya envoy has said the deals signed with Turkey represent an escalation of hostilities in Libya.
Okay, so we're back and we got our buddy Michelle with us. And Michelle thinks that... Michelle thinks that it's a distraction, that the Iran assassination of this general, which is assassination, and now we just heard a minute ago that Chris said that Trump has taken responsibility for this drone strike on this general, which was an assassination, a clear act of war. Trump is trying to start a war with Iran. So go ahead, Michelle. What were you saying?
Okay, and so I'm thinking that it's a distraction only for the simple fact by the end of January, they have to get, they have to figure out what they're going to do with the general, or what is it, the postal general guy? He's going to step down. And so now they're saying that Trump wants to privatize the U.S. Postal Services, which means that someone, of course, one of his rich buddies gets to run that shit. And good luck shipping your boxes, and how much is it going to fucking cost the American people? And it's not going to be anything about the government. It's going to be one person like an employer. And I'm like, man. And then all of a sudden, I came home and I seen that shit about Iran, and I was like, here we go, a perfect distraction. Everybody's going to pay attention to what's going on in Iran, and he's going to turn around and privatize the postal fucking office, man. You know how fucked we're going to be?
I'm pretty sure that would take an act of Congress. I don't think he can just do that with an executive order.
Are you fucking kidding me? He can do whatever he wants because the Postal General is stepping down. And so they said it's up to Trump to replace him or figure out what they want to do. All I'm saying is that this is what's up his sleeve. And the way they privatizing every fucking thing. Look at prisons.
I agree, Michelle. I agree. There's nothing they'd like to do better than to get their hands on that fucking pension of the mailman, too, man. They want to take all that money of the mailman pension.
Damn, dude, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Which is what the companies do when they do a hostile takeover, is the fucking companies take all the pension money. It's fucking horrible.
Damn right.
Yeah.
It's going to be fucking horrible. It's going to be a mess if that fucking comes to be. And that's why when I came home and I was like, what the hell happened? I was like, oh, shit. The first thing I thought of is him trying to be slimy and do it,
Right, trying to act like he's a big man and stuff.
Mhm. Oh yeah. Well, shit. He's already fucking. You know, he always wanted to be in the elite. You know, the elite fucking club, and they were always looking at him like he was a fucking redheaded stepchild.
Yeah.
And so now that he's giving
Right.
them fucking, tax breaks and everything, he got in there. He got into that fucking club.
Right.
You know, as dumb as he is, he did exactly what he's wanted to do his whole fucking life, is be one of them.
Yeah.
And boy, is he doing it, and he's enriching himself, and everybody turns a blind eye like, okay, isn't this a conflict of interest? But, Trump's done so many stupid things. Let's just let that one go too. Yeah, why not?
Well, that's
You
what
know,
they all.
like
That's
he-
what they all do in Washington D.C. It's not something new.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I was just like, oh my gosh. I'm over here just fucking can't believe it. And then now you said, what was the update?
Hello?
What was the update? You said that Trump fucking said yes, he did it?
Yeah, Trump said that he signed off on the drone strike. He ordered the drone strike to kill the general.
And did he say why?
It's some kind of retaliation thing.
Oh my God. But when the Saudis fucking beheaded the United States fucking with that American reporter, he didn't do a fucking thing.
Yeah, those people paying cash.
Oh, that's right. You took the words right out of my mouth, Mike. Shit. But okay, Mike, I just wanted to touch base with you and
Hey, I'm really glad. I'm really glad you called because I've had about enough of these lights, and I was hoping that you would call before I got out of here. So good timing.
Oh man, you've had a great show, brother. Man, I was enjoying it. I was enjoying. You got a lot of new callers and stuff. I'm gonna go back and listen to the girl from Chicago. You said?
Yeah, that's what
Was
she
that
said.
like
That's
in
what
the-
she said. I don't know if it was honestly. I don't know if it was a girl or not. But everybody seemed to think it was a girl. It might have been like a guy with a sissy voice.
Okay, we'll leave it alone. I'll leave it alone. But okay, well, I'm gonna check. Over. I'm gonna check it out again because I was like, oh shit, what the hell is going on?
Right on.
Got you out run.
I'm really glad. I'm glad you got home and you're safe and everything, and you had a nice Christmas holiday season. It sounds like you had a really good holiday.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah.
So,
that's
hey,
awesome.
well, you get some rest, and thanks for the show tonight, man. It was fucking awesome.
Right on. Well, we'll be back tomorrow. Until I hope we see you again soon. Okay.
All right. Have a good night.
Okay. You too. Bye bye. And I want to play the fucking tiger clip. I can't help it. I love this fucking tiger clip. Here's my fucking
And the zoo
tiger
scare caught on camera in Dublin. 7-year-old Sean was posing for a picture in front of an animal enclosure when a full-size Siberian tiger lunges at the glass. The family says Sean was startled, but they are just grateful for the glass safety window. All right, when we come back...
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.